I don't ever really know whether to call you Kyle or Cain Marko, because most people like in our circle, I think call you Kyle, but I was introduced to you as Cain Marko, and I'm always like, am I the outsider if I call you Cain Marko?
Nah. I enjoy when people call me Cain Marko or the Cain Marko. On the bills is the Cain Marko. You say the whole thing, like Tribe Called Quest. But I tend to introduce myself as Kyle, and so when we first met, I believe you were like Riser, and you came to see like Mio perform at freaking IAR.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I didn't see the show, but I met up with y'all after the show.
Yeah.
And
so
we went to some restaurant.
It was like Mexican restaurant nearby.
Yeah.
That was a weird time. Remember that girl threw up on herself? And we had to walk into the train?
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that part. I think I was trying to avoid her.
Yo, bro, we were fucking, I have a terrible memory, but I vividly remember just being like, I remember us eating there and us having a good conversation, and then like just for some reason more people just came by. And it was like, Milton was there, I was there, Neil was there, Milton's not quite girlfriend yet, Anna, who was now his ex.
Mika.
Yes, Mika was there.
Yeah. I met all y'all that day for at the same time. You, Mika, Milton, because y'all were working at Fool's Gold, I think.
Me and Mika worked at Fool's Gold. Me and Milton were throwing the show.
Okay.
Because we had access to that dope-ass room there. And now IR ain't even there no more.
Yeah.
But like, they had a really dope room and they weren't doing anything with it. And I was like, can I do a show here? But then they got really mad because we weren't allowed to play songs with curses in them. And it's like, none of this makes sense. I don't know why you're all upset. Anyway, but yeah, that's the first time we met. And
y'all went to IAR?
I went to IAR.
Oh, word. I didn't even know that.
Okay, so I went to IAR and my boy was working there for a bit and told me they had built out this new room, and I think he was the one that hooked it up that we could use the room. But I was like, and I'm an alumni, I was like, well, we have access to this really dope thing. We should do a dope thing. And yeah, so we did like 3 or 4, I think we did 3 shows there, and then we just never really went back. I think we were trying to get the video from it. It was hard to get video. It was weird. We were doing a lot of things back then. Everybody was doing everything. Like, everybody was trying to have showcases, and everybody was trying to put everybody else on, and everybody was trying to find a way to make it, and there's so many collectives and things. Oh, a very long-winded way to say is like, you're not an outsider, it's because you saw me at a thing, which is why you're like, oh, that's Cain Marko.
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, that's Kyle. Because if it was one of those things where you're like, yo, this is my boy, I'd be like, hi, I'm Kyle.
Yeah.
And I still haven't gotten to the point where I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Cain.
So you would prefer to like, because I think it's, I mean, I think a lot of artists on all levels like probably struggle with that of like, you know, creating a alter ego or whatever, or like you're creating a second identity at the very least when you create a stage alias.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was. I mean, I went through a bunch of names, so I really like relate to this, and I've come back to Serge, and it's like just spelling it weird is like the easiest thing to, because I can still say, hey, I'm Serge, but now it's just a matter of like, I get the awkward moment when it's like sharing Instagrams or something. I have to be like, SXRG, and then But
that somehow doesn't track for me, because I swear Milton knew who you were beforehand. As a matter of fact, I'm fairly certain, because you were going by your other name. Was that your rap name?
Troy Atlas was man, that feels so uncomfortable. And then Atlas, I dropped a Troy, and then, and those weren't my first rap names either. I went through a lot.
And I don't even think I've ever heard you rap. Or maybe I did.
You have heard me rap, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you used to come to Midnight Dream shows. I was still active. I still rap, but like, very sparingly. Now I'm more focused on like production, the songwriting like part of things, but it's all gonna come together in one like monster transformer like way at some point. I'm working on it all.
Yeah. Like, you're trying to make Pharrell's first album.
Low key.
Yeah.
In my mind?
Well, in my mind. Yeah. It was so funny. He did an interview at one point and he was like, was like, he's happy he made the album, but he regrets part of it because he was just like, I was so amped about making sure I did everything. Like, I did the beats and like I was singing on it and I was doing this. And he was just like, yeah, it's like that album could have been different or like better if I'd have just been open to like, I guess, having more collaboration. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you kind of have to do the thing to be like, to know that.
There was no Chad? Like,
well, I don't know, like, I don't know if he was adamant about like being the only person credited on everything, or if it was more like he had to have a hand in everything. Mm. So it might have been one of those things. It's like this. His point was more like the album was very him focused.
Yeah.
And he should have been able to like let it breathe a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for your in my mind. This is a really dope thing.
I'm excited for it. I don't know how it's gonna. We'll see.
Can I be the ab liva for your
what, the DJ drama?
Nah,
is that what you mean? Or
no, like so Ab Liva was a rapper that was signed to Star Trek.
Right, because you're also rapping too, and that's also a relatively newer development.
No, I don't. Okay.
To at least to me,
I don't actually rap. I don't rap.
Yo,
I have.
There's footage that says otherwise.
Okay. So there is footage of me rapping, and I am on a song on Spotify, which is shout out to.
They don't get more official than that.
It's my boy's song. It's called Newport 100s, and I think I'm the Cain Marko, but it's all spaced out. It's before I realized I needed to like market myself better or brand it as all one word. But yeah,
just by the way, I usually prep, or I'm like, this is the second episode, so I don't usually do anything at this point, but I want to prep like the guests beforehand usually. So feel free to plug whatever like throughout this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem. So there are instances on the internet of me rapping. I do not consider myself a rapper. At some point in life, I do want to put out an EP. But I'm pretty sure the footage that you saw was me and HOA Boss Man on stage.
Nope.
No, it was just me.
It was you were freestyling. It was at
Oh Lord! Oh God! Oh, was that at fucking Was that at Seuss's shop? Was that Pushing Buttons?
Yeah.
That was. Oh wait, so there's footage. Is this footage up somewhere and live? Can people see it?
I saw it somewhere. I don't even remember where I saw it, but I remember seeing it, and then I talked to you about it.
Yeah. Okay. So like, I
don't know if it was just on someone posting on Instagram or
I bet. So I'll do this because if there's not like actual footage of it somewhere, then the person won't get his feelings hurt. Somebody was freestyling, and I was like, they are not up to par, and I refused to let this beat get wasted on this, and I was like, I'm gonna say something, and I did, and I was like, yeah, came out looking fine, looked like I did everything perfectly. I'm done. That is the only verse you're getting for the day.
You gotta have your be on your George Costanza. Like, I don't know if you ever watched Seinfeld, but like he had this thing where like he would or there was this episode about him leaving like right at the moment where he did something great so he couldn't fuck it up after.
Oh.
And he just like he'd tell a joke, everyone would laugh, and he'd just like leave the room. Like, all right, later, y'all. Yeah. That's
super fucking perfect. I've seen it go left. We've all seen it go left.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, I'm running out of steam. All right, you got it. Peace.
Yeah.
Just chilling. But yeah, running.
Especially as a DJ, like I imagine too. You know.
Oh man.
That's when it gets hot, and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's like if I'm paid to be there, we all gonna be here. Regardless of what happens on that dance floor. Yeah. I'm gonna try to make it work. I've definitely been in situations like that where it's like, oh, I just ran out of steam. Like I don't know what the hell to do right now. Or it's never happened to me, but like when motherfuckers when people
I encourage the person.
One of the biggest things, especially I don't know, just in the DJ community, like if you're opening, just to understand that you're opening.
Yeah. And
there's an art to it, to be like, all right, I'm setting this up, and like even if you're on a bill with a bunch of other people, it feels like now, or at least the shows that I go to, when there are bills with a bunch of other people, like people sound different enough that you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But if it's less like it's a bill with a bunch of different people because we're trying to like go for a certain sound, and it's more like we're doing a night and we're all DJing, and it's like, all right, we need to stack on top of each other and like help each other. So obviously, like, don't play Sexy Red if you're on at 6 p.m. and we're going till 4. Like, come on, like figure out what it is. I remember.
So which side of that do you like lie on? Like, are you more of a fan of like don't play it till later?
Yeah, don't play like
because there's also like there's the touring DJ who has like his opener like set up or whatever. Like that's all like kind of planned, and the opening DJ like knows like not to do that. Or if he goes to your city and you open up for him or whatever, and it's not like a set thing, but you still know like to at least ask the questions like, what don't you want me to play, I assume, or something like that, right?
Well, yeah, it all depends on like I said, the vibe and what you're going for. And also, like, if someone has music, don't play their music before they're about to go on.
Yeah, that too.
And that, like, I remember I once saw, like, a pair of DJs. They were, like, twins and they DJ'd. And, like, they opened up for, like, Singo, and they were playing Singo beforehand. And I was like, you're opening for Singo. Don't play Singo.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Play Jules or something. Like.
Yeah. But, like, it was I remember, what was it? Envy was telling this story once. He was opening up for Flex at a club, and he went out there and he played like all the fire joints. He was like, yeah, doing it. And Flex was like, yo, you did a great job. You played all the fire. The night is yours. And walked out and left him in a lurch because it's just like, oh shit. So what the fuck do I play now for the next 2 hours?
Yeah,
because I just ran through everything.
That's actually kind of a dope move, because it's like you automatically put him in your shoes. Like, I was about to go on, but now you're gonna feel what it's like to go on after what you just did.
Exactly.
You know?
Especially if you just like, yo, we not trying to. Other thing too is like, why are we repeating songs? I was at a party. I was at like a brunch bounce years ago at like Knockdown Center. And the first DJ was fucking fire. It was just playing stuff that like, it was just dope. It was a good mixture of stuff. I think it was Love, in fact. Like, Love is a super dope DJ from Jersey. But then like someone else came after her, and then like the person that came after that person was playing songs that person was playing. I'm like, I understand maybe you weren't here for their set, but like, come on, bro, like, space it out. Like, figure out what's happening. Like, we're trying to set the scene. Like set the scene and work your way up, because the night is supposed to build. It's supposed to be like, all right, and everybody's getting warmed up, everybody's getting drinks, make everybody feel comfortable. This was going on, kind of give a preview of what's about to happen, and it happens. And the height of the night should be the height of the night. That's when all like fire flames or destruction happens. And then if you like closing, it's like, all right, what can I do? What can I do to like? We're still right here. But I know the staff will let you know too. It'll be like, yo, in an hour, this shit needs to calm the fuck down because we need these motherfuckers out of here. So it's just like, all right, we're gonna keep y'all here, but then like maybe I'll go for more nostalgia things, and then I'll like calm it down and piece it up so everybody leaves. The other thing too, like, you don't want to start a fight. Like, you don't, well, I don't know if that happens as much now, and it depends on where you are now, but like, there was definitely points of like, you don't want to start a fight, so maybe you don't play MOP and like Simon Says and like whatever the hell back to back, or like there was certain like Throw Your Hood Up, maybe you don't play that like with like Damn back to back. That also shows my age because I'm referencing songs that were fire when I was in like college. But but I'm on the side of like, if we're doing a night, like, let's work together and cooperate, and I have no problem. Like, I feel like I'm good at opening for other people. Like, I can set a stage easily for anybody, and
because it's kind of because the tricky thing too is especially when a lineup is a bunch of like DJs that are just kind of like pieced together, and you may not know what everyone else plays, and you kind of just show up and like all right, like I'm gonna do my thing, and also like that DJ who pulls up at 9. I've seen this a lot. The DJ who pulls up at like, or his set is later in the night.
Yeah.
Pulls up at like 9:10, and if you went on like 7:08 or something,
exactly.
They didn't have any idea that people experience like some of the songs that you might have played already too.
But also like, just don't like find other shit to play. Like there's I don't know. As an opening DJ, you're kind of like you're gonna limit yourself to like certain ish, like to like certain stuff, certain shit, like to like set it, or maybe you want to go into a different genre that you know won't get like played later on in the night.
It also takes confidence to have that, cause for me, cause you know you're the real deal when it comes to DJing, but me. You know, production's my main thing. Like making the songs is my main thing. I've DJ'd. You know, I've
never heard you have a bad set, man. Like
thank you.
You out here doing the fucking thing.
But it's also like my set is my set. Like I practice that set.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time I'm practicing before. Y'all can pull up and just like freestyle some shit. If I'm freestyling, it's not gonna be. I did have to freestyle the first time because it was supposed to be back to back with Boston, and then Boston wasn't able to make it.
Yeah.
And so I did end up freestyling, but I just played remixes. I just played nothing but
exactly.
remixes.
Which all works.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, like I wouldn't have the confidence to you know, just play stuff like off the cuff the way or play the light version of my set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I'm just it's bad. I'm very poor at preparation.
Yeah.
Like I can, like when I do prepare, stuff is super, super dope. But there'll be times I'm just like, I didn't think about it. And at this point, like when I first started DJing, I was doing 6-hour sets at an Irish bar. And like, even if the bar was empty.
6 hours?
Bro, like, yeah. That was my first like regularly paying gig. My boy Rob Champion hooked it up for me. I was at this bar called Turnmill on like 28th in between Park and Lexington. And for like 2.5 years, I was just there. At one point, I was DJing like twice a week there, and it was like 6 hours, and I think I was getting paid like $125 or $150. It was
for all 6 hours.
Yes, like bro, like I don't even know what year it was, but even then I was still being underpaid. But I was like, it was a regular check, and I was there twice a week.
At the end of the day, that's the real shit. It's like I'd rather get paid. We should get paid what we deserve, but I'd rather get underpaid doing music than to be paid doing something I hate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, big facts. But even that, it was still like, this is still bonkers and not okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't remember what my original rate was. I do remember that at the end, they were like, all right, we're going to give you $200 a night, and they want to give me another night. But at that point, I already told them, I was like, yo, I'm not, I quit. Like, I quit like 2 months prior. I was like, yo, me and the bar, one of the bar managers had a dust up. Not a dust up. I literally came in like 10 minutes late, and he said some ish, and I was like, he said some shit to me, and I just remember like, yo, one of these days you might just have to find like, no, he said to me, one of these days I might have to find a DJ that comes on time. And I was like, one of these days you might have to. And then like at the end of the night, I was like, yo, how you want to do this? Like we can do this one of two ways. One, today is the last day that I ever DJ for y'all. I'm out. Peace. Get my money. No problems. Or I give you 2 months. We find somebody to take my spot. But I'm done here. I'm not doing this anymore. I'd already been like fed up of working there. Just cause like there were strict rules. I think I was like
rules to like what you can play type stuff.
Like the reason why I didn't want to DJ anymore is one is like I'm just playing the same shit over and over again. Which like if I was a better DJ, maybe I could have figured out a way to spice it up for myself. No, that is not what happened. I was doing that. I was doing it like twice a week. There were 3 managers. 2 of them had no idea how to talk to people correctly. Like they just sounded terrible, wild attitude, wild condescending, and just like did not know how to talk to people correctly. And the other dude was fine. He was fine. He wasn't always there. And I was like, all right, bet. So I don't want to deal with your fucking attitude. I'm being underpaid. I just don't want to be here more. And then he said that shit to me, and I was like, bet. This is how you want to work. They got 2 extra months out of me, and then finally it was like, yo, man, we'll do this, we'll do that. And I was like, no, I said I'm done, and I'm done.
Yeah.
And I did. But even then, it's still like $200 for 6 hours.
2 months is gracious.
Yo, for real, because I think I was just trying to get, you know what it was? I was like, I'll get y'all to New Year's, because I know, like, it's going to be busy. So I was like, yo, either today it's a wrap, or I'll get you to New Year's to help you out. And then I ended up staying until February because they asked again.
And why did you feel like the generosity to help them out if they were like both? Because I also relate to what you're saying with like I've been in a job before where I feel like there's two things you can't do at the same time, right? Like you can pay people what they deserve and treat them poorly. You should pay people what they deserve and treat them well.
Yes.
But in terms of people tolerating you, you can pay people great and treat them poorly, or you can treat them great and underpay them and get away with it technically, like somewhat. Again, in an ideal world, we get paid what we deserve and we get treated like human beings and with understanding and empathy and all that. But yeah, so I relate to that, and forgot where I was headed with this, but
yeah, you said that you were in like a situation similar to that, where like, oh, you asked me like what gave me the grace to give them the extra time.
Yeah, exactly. So like why did you choose to be so generous?
I don't know, man. I guess I'm a nice guy. I guess like I was like. I'm not going to also just completely rip up 2.5 years. Like, I'm just going to be like, all right, I can do this, I can do that. The choice is yours. Just understand that, like, it's a wrap. And then I also gave them 2 extra months. And I guess they thought they were just like, they could string me along. It's like, nah, don't want to do it anymore. And also, like, I realized at that point, like, I was not a great DJ at that point. And, like, it was a whole lot of, like, chicken salad out of chicken shit. Because when I got there, like, we got a turntable and a mixer. Mixer was ass and the turntable was fucked up. So, like, after maybe 1 or 2 weeks there, I was literally DJing for 6 hours on internal mode and a mixer. So,
but that's that shit. That's like Rocky IV when Drago's got all the equipment and shit. And Rocky's just like you got the logs and like he's just doing shit the old fashioned way. His situation's like purposely fucked up. It sucks in the time, but like it always makes you better in some way. Like I've learned to find the joy in like, okay, this sucks, but ultimately if I can do this, I'm gonna be a fucking beast.
Yeah, it was one time I was at South by Southwest and I was doing a showcase with Ready C. Shout to Ready C. Really dope DJ, underground DJ, does a lot of graphic design. And it was like he was actually printing out flyers for me when I was like doing a showcase at No Malice Palace. Gracious, that's going back. But anyway, I was at South by.
Yeah, I think I did a show there too.
Yeah, I feel like if you were around at a certain time, everyone did a show at No Malice Palace, bro. Like, and had a showcase there. It was like, we'll give you a couple tries, and after that, peace. But
I think it was a dud too for me, like on my side of things. I think the show didn't pull a lot of people.
Yeah. But it's one of those spots that is like bonkers on the weekends, but during the day it is dry as hell. But I was doing a show for Eddie City, South by Southwest, and I originally started the show. I had a mixer, 2 12s, so I'm using Serato going. Yo, they would come up every now and then and be like, yo man, we need the deck. So I went from 2 turntables and a mixer to 1 turntable and a mixer. And meanwhile,
you need the deck for what?
For downstairs, because they were running 2 shows, 1 upstairs and 1 downstairs. I was a DJ for upstairs, and downstairs they had like
so they would split.
They weren't even splitting equipment. I don't know what happened to equipment downstairs. Maybe it was fucked up.
Oh, okay.
But that's what's happening. Okay, so
it was like it's supposed to be an emergency situation.
Yeah. Okay. So I go from 2 turntables and a mixer, and I'm like, yo, we need a turntable. I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, yo, we need the other turntable, but we got the CDJ for you. And I was like, all right, bet, hook up the CDJs. And then it's like, yo, we need one of the CDJs back. I was like, okay, yo, we need the other CDJ. Fine, right here. And like, the whole thing was like, I was doing a showcase for like rappers too. So while this equipment is getting switched in and out, the show is still happening. Like, I'm DJing as someone's like unplugging shit. And then like cats were coming up to me with these are like people I did not know. Like I was there I think at the time I was DJing for Piso, the Earth Zone King. Okay. So shout out to Piso. He also just is a comic book writer. He dropped his own comic book line. I was with him in Anime NYC. Very cool. Also was about to drop a Ninja comic book, which is bananas. So all this is happening. People are giving me their shit, and then at one point, homie pulls up with a CD, just a CD, and like this is long enough ago that I had a laptop that had a CD player in it. So like I'm playing off his CD, but it's not even like backing tracks, bro. It's like the fucking CD. Like I don't even know if Serato would recognize, like if the Serato would recognize you having a CD anymore to play the music off the CD.
Yeah. Cause
like it was so bonkers, man. Yeah, it was running around back then was a lot, and we were running around just trying to get it anyway. And cats like that's when like people would be like, if you could email your tracks, please email them ahead of time. Please have. I don't even know if we were asking people to have CDs. I think we still hadn't transitioned to being like just have everything on a flash drive. I think that was still new for people. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, there's no real like school for that. There should be some sort of like. I didn't go to IR. I didn't go to SAE. I'm self-taught in terms of like, engineering and all that.
Yeah.
And now it's like what I do. Like you know, like that's like I do live sound regularly. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, they don't go over that at IR, I assume. Like, or even I would imagine that like, for people who are becoming artists and they choose like to go like Berkeley or NYU, they probably don't go over any of that shit either.
Go over like how it's a disaster.
It's like no, I mean like for the artists, like how to pull up to a venue correctly.
Yeah, that's
like prepared.
Yeah. That's
how to talk to the DJ and the audio engineer. How to do a
proper sound check.
Yeah,
Cats don't know how to do a sound check. Cats know how to hold mics. Right. People don't know how to hold mics. I've seen like artists, and I know that they are professional artists, and they have some sort of like training in music. Still hold the mic like this, and I'm just like. And I also find myself doing it when I have a mic.
It kind of feels good.
Yo, it does, but like a couple, and it comes from so many different things. Even me myself, what I try to do is I try to hold the bottom of the mic, but then I'll put one finger, just because like I'm like, oh, this is the inch that it's supposed to have between me and the mic, so I kind of use it as a guide.
Okay.
So like that's my frame of reference for it. So it's like I try to hold the base of the mic, all the innuendo, the case. Sorry, if Mason Cam were here, it'd be like pause. But but yeah, I'm like right here. So it's like, all right, in theory, I'm doing the thing where I remember to keep a space between me and the mic, and then I'm rapping right here, but not completely covering the mic. But I shouldn't do that. I should just be right here. Like trust yourself.
Technically.
And then like
it depends what you're doing too. Like. I give rappers a pass because I'm just like there's some to like the stronghold of a mic like to really like grab it. Yeah. That just feels like.
But I've seen cats that know better do better. Yeah, like I know. I've seen like.
But you don't want to like completely cover. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like cats don't.
It's gonna affect the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
like motherfuckers that I know engineer their own sessions and record their own shit, and our producers still do this shit. And I'm like, yo, you know that's not how that works. When you go into a booth, yeah. Do you do this? Like when you're recording your album, you don't do that. Like why would you? Like I get it. And so the other thing that happens is people aren't used to hearing the track or themselves through speakers when they're performing, and they're like, I can't hear myself when I cut the mic. I can hear myself. It's like, no, that's because like it's a bad amplification of what you're doing. Yeah. And also like
that doesn't make any sense.
And also like cats
not professional.
Yo, but then also like cats are doing shows where there are no monitors. Cats are not used to hearing monitors. They don't realize
there's multiple things to be blamed.
Yeah.
Because it could be potentially on the audio engineer, could be on the venue for not having the proper equipment. And in a lot of spots, like, that's the case.
Or you're just like, yo, I can't hear the music. Well, all the speakers are facing that way or in front of you. So you have to trust that they're getting the sound right out there. Mm-hmm. And you can't hear yourself, and you're not used to, like, that's not how you perform or even how you, like, wrote the shit. Or
people want to experience it as if, like, how the fans are experiencing it. And on a certain level, that's probably possible, like, on huge-ass stages. Yeah. But in these small-ass venues where, like, sound is just bouncing everywhere and you know, your first thing you worry about as engineers is just, like, feedback management.
Yeah.
You know, you have to put frequencies out. Things are gonna sound a little thin. You can't have it sound like it does in your headphones or like the album sounds necessarily while you're on stage. Yeah. I can make it sound like that to the crowd. Yeah. But sometimes you can't do both.
Yo, how many strays have you caught as the sound dude? Like, I feel like that happens all the time. I feel so bad.
Be more specific.
Like you're doing your job, and then all of a sudden, hey yo, soundman, hey yo, soundman, hey yo, turn the track up. Yeah. Or just like, hey asshole, you weren't here for sound check in the first place. Or when you did sound check, you know what you did? You walked up and you were like, yo, check, 1, 2. And then even if they do sound check the song, they'll play the track and then be like, yeah, so it's like, that's not how you're gonna perform it. And you know that. Yeah.
Sometimes live sound, often live sound can feel like babysitting a little bit, like corralling. I don't want to look at it that way. I don't want to, but it's just like they have no idea how things work on my side of things, and I have to do my best to, like, explain things very simply in terms that they can understand, which is unfortunately the only other, like, analogy I can give is kind of like how you would explain stuff to children, and I hate that. Like, I don't ever want to like because ultimately we're on the same team. We're trying to have a good show. I'm trying to make sure that shit sounds great. I don't want to be sitting here and, like, shit sounding shitty and people looking at me either. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm trying to make sure everyone's happy. I'm trying to make sure the vibes are good. You know, I'm trying to have an easy night.
No, I get that, and you're right. There is no class for that. There's no class for, like, how to, like, what to do when you're doing your first set of shows. And then even then, like, the people throwing the shows, some of them are trying to rip the artist off. And then others are like, they're very well-meaning, but they don't know what they need. Like, you might pull up somewhere and they got, like, a fucking Bose Bluetooth speaker. It's like, yeah, everybody's performing out of that. Or they're just like, yeah, you just gotta bring your phone and have an aux. And it's like, bro, like, you're gonna have an open aux and people are gonna bring their phones. Does anyone have a dongle? but just little things like that. Yeah. And you're right, there's no class for that. And then when cats go to bigger stages, they don't understand, or they don't understand why the wireless might like cut out, or like,
and it creates, like, this false, like, understanding of, like, oh, you're the sound man, you're supposed to do all these things, or you're supposed to like oh, you gotta it's a team effort, but we've never met each other. That's the hard part. That's the hardest part about doing sound, is, like, I have to continually work with new people and, like, win over their trust in a matter of like an hour or so before the show. Yeah. You know?
That's facts. I mean, that's, like, not for nothing, that's partially, like, my job as a DJ too, is to be an intermediary between, like, the sound man and then, like, the artist, especially if the artist is, like, not new, or if the artist is just being a fucking artist, is just like, you know, I gotta be in my space. This is how I wanted to feel. This is that. It's like, all right, hold on. So, like, I'm gonna go talk to the sound dude. I'm gonna ask their name. Probably, like, I gotta do the whole, yo, I'm gonna ask your name. I'm gonna forget it 3 times, and then maybe I'll remember it. I'll do my best to, like, shout people out, shout out the bars. Like if I'm DJing for somebody, like, I try to, like, holler at the staff, figure out if we're at a bar, what's the bartender's name? We can shout the bartender out while we're on the stage. And then talk to the sound person and just be like, all right, cool. So, like, this is how the show's gonna go. This is, like, he's gonna need the mic to do this, or this is how many songs that we have, and then, like, figure out how to be the intermediary and be like, yo, no, like, when we do sound check, if we make the sound check, perform the shit like you're actually gonna do it. That helps that person out right there. And also, I'm just like, yo, like, I'm trying to, like, work with you as much as you're trying to work with me, and then, like, corral artists and be like that. And that's why it's good to have, if you're a rapper or just any genre, Like, sometimes that's just your manager, sometimes it's the DJ, and like, I'm just that extra set of gloves to be like, all right, cool, we're going to be working in this direction. And also, if you feel the type of way, let me go talk to that person, because I'm not going to be as upset as you are unless like something really goes like motherfucking left, you know?
Yeah. I think my biggest frustrations are with like huge bands that are on stage, and when I say huge, I mean like just in terms of pieces for the size of the stage. Like, so like a 5-piece band or something, which is not huge, but in some of these smaller venues, like they can barely fit on the stage, and then they wanna like have like a Marshall amp on stage. Like they bring their own amps, and they just like put it to like 100, and I'm like, yo, you're playing way too loud for the room. I'm not gonna be able to we're not gonna hear vocals if your guitars are that loud. And then they have like an issue with how they're experiencing the music, which is essentially selfish. It's like, you gotta take one for the team a little bit, and they'll be like, I've been doing this for blah, blah, blah years. And I'm like, that's cool and all, you've been sounding like shit probably.
Facts.
for
Facts.
that long.
And cats don't realize, like I did a beat show like a while ago, and in beat shows, everybody has different equipment, everybody has different settings. Yeah. And then like one of the things I was noticing was there was a lot of cats playing on SPs, and their volume knob is all the way up. And I'm like, hey, let's, before we do anything, turn that down, please.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, like, it's just shit is peaking. Yeah. And then the other thing is, it's like, yo, I can't, you gotta turn me up. It's like, yo, bro, like, trust me, it's okay. You're gonna sound nuts. Yeah. And then it just happened. And one dude was playing, he's into it, and I was like, you're just peaking everywhere. Yeah. And it's like, you worked really hard on the low end of this beat. It sounds like shit right now. Like it's bananas. But even me, like, even when I'm DJing, like, I'm sure, like, I've caught myself peaking, or like, I won't even realize it. I'm just like playing and just going and like slowly turning everything up without realizing it. Yeah. It's just one of those like, all right, this is a little, or the trim's up here. Like, I'll turn the trim up for a particular song, but not turn it down. And I'm like, oh, this is out of whack, so I'll turn the trim up on the other side. And it's just gradually getting louder and louder. And I'm sure that the sound dude's like, hey, you probably need to like recalibrate and catch this. Yeah. You took me back to Summerfest this past summer. Oh yeah. Like, I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. With like the first 3 songs in my set were just like, it was coming out of one speaker. I pull up early for sound check. Yeah. I hit up Jess. I made it a point to come early. I did everything right, and then I don't know what happened. Like in between that, like I still haven't. I haven't done a live set since, to be honest. So like, I still don't know if I have to test those cables. Bro, I still don't know if it was the cable or like what. Bro, I did a show at Wonderville with Mutant Funk last year. I was the first person there. I did sound check. Everything sounded fine. The second I start playing, sounds like shit. Like, there's no low end, and we can't figure out what the fuck is up. Like, I'm going through everything, like, while I'm DJing, I'm trying to pulling out wires, everything. Just had to upgrade Serato. And I don't know why Serato, like, conked out on me. Because the whole thing was, like, we did sound check. Like, we did sound check right before, and I was opening. So we had just done sound check. Sounded like shit my entire set. Then finally went through everything, just upgraded it, and then, like, tested it again. I was like, oh, I guess I just needed to fucking upgrade Serato. And I was like, are you guys doing the iPhone trick? Are you slowing my shit down on purpose because I didn't upgrade? Yeah. Foul. Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild. There was at least like a bunch of people in between, so like I don't know what it was, but yeah. That was frustrating. You weren't able to figure it out till after the set? Until my solo set, but then because the whole thing with Mutant Funk is that we all do a huge back to back at the end of it when we were in Wonderville. That sounded fine. Everything was great, but my set sounded like shit. Yeah. And also everybody else in the crew was phenomenal. So just like, oh, who's this shitty dude? Did y'all have opening for you? I was like, I hate all of you. This is all bullshit. Y'all wasn't here when I sounded great. God damn it. Granted, we weren't letting people in at the time, but we were. If you wasn't here, you would know. I was ready. Yeah, word. But tell me about Cain Marko, and like where did that name come from? It's such a unique name. I've always been curious. Like, it sounds like a superhero. Absolutely. Are you being 100 right now? You don't know where the name comes from, or you do?
I really don't.
All right, so the name is actually a little bit not a test, but like if you know, you know. So Cain Marko is the Juggernaut's government name in comic books.
Oh.
So like the Juggernaut is my favorite comic book character.
Okay.
And this is my favorite comic book character.
Why?
And so
why the Juggernaut? That's a not a common choice, I feel.
I don't know. Probably wish fulfillment. Like the actual, like if you were to do the 5 whys as to why, probably just because he's like an invulnerable, unstoppable force of nature. But like I think the reason when I started reading comics, like for real, when I was super into it, the Juggernaut had a hero turn. So he was a part of a crew, and like he was a hero, and I was like, this cool redemption arc. And I was like, I already enjoy him as a character, like the idea of him as a character. But I'm seeing him do all these good things. He's like taking care of this like this younger woman superhero, and I was just like, all right, cool. Like I really fucked the Juggernaut, and so I was like, all right. Before then, when I thought I was gonna rap, my name was gonna be Roy Twist, which was like my middle name is Royce, and then my screen name at the time was like Twisted Ideas for You or something. So I was like, I'm gonna go by Roy Twist. And I was like, all right, cool, that works. And then people were like, it just sounds so much like Oliver Twist. I'm like, Roy and Oliver are not the same fucking things, but okay. But yeah, so it was like Roy Twist for a minute, and then I don't know what it was, but I was like, Cain Marko sounds dope, and I'm gonna just go by Cain Marko. And then my boy Bashir was like, he's not a Cain Marko, he's the Cain Marko. And I was like, oh, that's even better to differentiate, because there is a rock band called Cain Marko, and there was a rapper at one point called Cain Marko.
So your full name is the Cain Marko, right?
Yeah.
I have seen that. Yeah.
The Cain Marko, all one word, the or the, all one word. And I did that purposely because I was like, there are all these other Cain Markos out there. So I was like, I'm the only the Cain Marko. If you type that in Google, it is immediately like on my social media handles.
Let them know. I'm the Cain Marko.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that I've been rocking with for years, they still spell the shit out. Like, or they put spaces in it. And I'm like, I love y'all to death. Or it's Marco, not Marko. Yeah. And it's just like, all right, just please, just fix it. I feel like Anderson .Paak all the time. Don't forget that dot, nigga, you paid for it. Like, but yeah, that's my whole shit. I was really, like, I haven't read a comic book in a minute.
Yeah.
But I was really heavy in the comic books at one point, and like reading like a ton at one time and spending so much money every Wednesday, and then like illegally downloading some, and just reading like so much shit. But like right now I haven't read a book in a minute, and I haven't like read a comic book in even longer. So, yeah. But that was my whole shit. I just wanted to be the Juggernaut, and then also, I don't know if I saw it, read it, or heard it, but someone was like, the names that we choose for each other, you subconsciously work toward being that. And so if I'm subconsciously trying to work toward being an unstoppable force, you know, that'd be pretty dope. And also like branding it New Jersey Juggernaut, that just rolls off the tongue and that sounds super dope. And it's an easy catchphrase. So yeah, the Cain Marko, New Jersey Juggernaut.
You call yourself the New Jersey Juggernaut?
Yeah,
okay. I just never heard that.
Yeah, that's the tagline for most of the things, and in my short bios would always be New Jersey Juggernaut, because
the taglines where specifically?
No, like in my bios, like on social media, like on like Instagram and Twitter, stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, New Jersey Juggernaut, and that's like one of the drops is like from like Marvel superheroes, is him saying I'm unstoppable.
Are you from Jersey, and like what like originally, like where were you born, where were you raised, and then like what was your introduction to music, and how did that relationship evolve? So I'm born and raised New Jersey, period. Okay. I was born in Jersey City, lived there for a little bit, spent most of my life growing up in Newark. And I say Newark because I'm from Newark. Other motherfuckers might say Newark. Cool. But yeah, it also, I have a very weird way of speaking. Jess makes fun of me all the time. For some reason, like certain syllables, I'll be like walk instead of walk, and it doesn't make sense. Like
not everybody does that. And sometimes it almost sounds like I'm from fucking Queens, and that really annoys me because
there's worse places you could be.
Yeah, Queens. Queens is not my favorite place.
What? Okay.
It's
okay.
not. Are you from Queens?
Yes, I'm from Queens. But let's talk about it.
Okay.
What's up?
Queens doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Please do not go to
the
whole thing of 122nd Street and then 122nd Place. Like, it's not that difficult. It's really not.
Okay, you know what?
Keep walking. You'll find it. It's a few blocks.
It would be fine. Yo.
You also have Google Maps.
It would be fine. First off, I'm old enough that I was going places before Google Maps was a thing.
Yes,
but also, it'd be fine if they didn't fucking-sect, bro. Fine. If it was a thing where they were all parallel, and you had to go through 22nd Road, 22nd Place, 22nd Avenue, and it repeated, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Maybe if they intersected and it was like avenues, streets, like Manhattan does, fine. The shit makes no sense, bro. Sometimes they intersect, sometimes they don't, and then it would be like 3 different ones, but they're near each other too.
But at least if you had no Google Maps and you were placed in a situation where that exists, you will find your way eventually. If you are in Brooklyn, and no shade to Brooklyn.
Yeah, you don't know. You know
where you are, because it's all names.
Yeah.
So, which is better?
I would say Brooklyn. Well, the other thing that annoyed me too is the fucking hyphenated addresses. And this is a very particular thing. So I was driving before Google Maps, but when you had fucking like TomToms, right? Remember those? Like the specific GPS devices that were just for GPSs. Yeah.
I don't know what TomToms is.
But like a TomTom, it was a brand of like just GPS. But there was a point you couldn't put a dash in the fucking number.
Whose fault is that?
Queens! Because why do you have...
I think that sounds like the company's fault.
Why do you have 44-22, but then you'll have a 4097?
Don't make an inferior product that doesn't allow dashes when there are clearly dashes that have existed for a long time. Like,
all right. And I'll be honest with you, the bigger reason for me having issue with Queens is that at one point a dude from Queens was dirty macking on my girl, and I just never got over it. I was like, there was no reason for that to happen. And I was friends with this man. I'm friends with this man. Didn't fuck up the friendship. I was just like, I see what's happening. You might not even realize what you're doing, but you're dirty macking on my girl. It's fucked up. But it's cool. Nothing ever happened. Nothing came of it. I was just like, I see what's happening right here. This Queen shit, fucking weird. That's all I'm saying. But I will say this.
Queens is one of the best places in the world, I'm just saying.
And here's the thing. Me and Jess have been trying to get the Queens night market for forever. I know there's fantastic food there that I have not experienced. I want to go to Queens Chinatown because I heard it's fucking fire.
Astoria? What about Astoria?
Astoria and then don't they have like bomb-ass Albanian food?
They have not just Albanian. They have everything, like everything in Astoria.
Okay, yeah, so like, cool. And then like, I continuously meet cool people from Queens. You're cool. Fucking DJ Eclipse is cool when he's not making fun of me. I literally just met Royal Flush. I met fucking Tragedy Gaddafi recently. Both Queens rap legends. Nice as shit. So like, I'm slowly but surely getting over my Queens bias. However, you can't tell me that this shit makes sense. Also, shout out to Bex from On the Mics with Bex. She's also great, and she's from Queens. I
didn't map out Queens. All I'm saying is, it's not that complicated. Like y'all, people, it's such a regurgitated point that like people have congregated, and now it's like they're ganged up on Queens about like the streets being the same, whatever, in succession. Eventually, you'll get to 123rd. Just keep walking.
But it's like, in the same way that different personalities from certain people from there, like certain Queens cats, they're different in a different way. You know, like a dude from Harlem is obviously from Harlem for various different reasons. You can tell, and they do different things. Motherfuckers like born and raised Brooklyn, like from old Brooklyn. It's like cool, like might be on that Brooklyn bullshit is a term for a reason apparently. It's like motherfuckers like.
It's a big place. It depends. Like if you're like if someone was like born and raised from Brooklyn Heights or something, or
Yeah,
or even like Bay Ridge as opposed to Brownsville.
Yes.
Night and day.
Yes. You know what? You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah.
But like
or Jamaica, Queens to Astoria is like also very much night and day.
But it's just like Brooklyn motherfuckers might rob the party. Who knows? But
yeah.
But it's fine. And I'm from fucking Jersey, and I'm from Newark on top of that. So then y'all motherfuckers can say whatever the fuck you want to say about Jersey. Jersey stinks.
I got love for all the boroughs. We know which boroughs at the bottom of the totem pole, but we don't get into that. I don't have to say it. We know what it is.
Yeah, my catch no ferry, bro.
I think I got more love for Jersey than I might have for Staten Island. I'm sorry.
But even then, I met cool people from Staten Island. Shout out to Stereotype Code. Shout out to Mark Marvel. Or sorry, Payani. I'm still calling him his old rap name. Yeah. But yeah, you're like
I gotta stop teasing because I've learned recently that some people from the boroughs that aren't Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan can take offense to being made fun of a little bit. Like, it can be a sensitive topic for some
At least
people.
no one's from Long Island. I'm just joking. My fucking girlfriend is from Long Island. Her whole family is.
Yeah.
It's fun to make fun of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you also asked me where I got the music from.
Yeah. Let's get back to that.
My parents, they just always played music, and
what's like a song that's like a staple for you in terms of like, well, what's your background like ethnicity wise?
Oh, I'm black.
Okay.
Like regular black too. Well, my granddad is from Belize, and is like a person of some note out in Belize, but like never really met him. But other than that,
I don't even know what Belize is.
Belize is a country.
I thought that was like a drink, like an alcoholic.
Are you dead?
Baileys? I'm just being stupid.
Oh yeah.
I'm being stupid. But,
what
is that? Yeah.
It's a country in Central America. Fuck. I think I fucked that up. It might be South America, but it's a very.
I don't feel so bad anymore. That joke.
It's a very small country. It used to be called British Honduras. Obviously owned by Britain, and they revolted, got their freedom.
Okay.
Freedom. We're independent.
So what kind of music was like played in the house like growing up?
Just old school like R&B, like a lot of Felix Hernandez on Saturdays.
I don't know who that is.
So Felix Hernandez is a very famous like radio DJ.
Okay.
And was on. Sorry, it did a rhythm review, which is like just a review of like old school music, like would go from Chevy Checker to like the Temptations, and like he was good for being like on the radio and being like, well, this is a record that got redone by Archie Bell, but you know this version, and would like play that. And so like my parents, when I got old enough to where like they give the kids the rule of the radio, on Saturdays it was like, yeah, fuck all that, we listen to Felix Hernandez. So like
what station was that on?
It's been on several different stations. At one point, it was on like
but this
Kiss
is
FM
in Jersey.
and BLS.
Oh.
No, yeah, like Kiss FM and BLS.
Because y'all would get some of the same radio stations as we do, I guess, right?
I'm from Newark, so like we basically everything that affects New York City is the same thing that we're getting.
Okay.
So High 97, is tri-state area. High 97 broadcasts to Connecticut, New York City, and New Jersey. And there's I bet there's motherfuckers in New York State that have no relationship to High 97, and that just hits a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like Newark is super close to Manhattan. I mean, I spent more time getting from the Holland Tunnel to Bowery Street today than I did driving from Newark to the Holland Tunnel. Like that's how close Newark is to here, which is why like I spent so much time going back and forth between New York City and staying where I am, and why I've never really moved, because I like having access to here.
So it was a lot of like Motown?
Not even Motown, just like Luther Vandross, Michael Jackson, and like some Temptations, OJ's, Whispers, like all that good stuff.
Like for me, it was a lot of. I mean, there's so many. So my dad was a DJ. He wasn't like a out here at the clubs every weekend kind of DJ, but he would like host parties, and he had some turntables, and he's got the system. Like he still has like big ass speakers. That's always been lifelong. thing for him because growing up in Trinidad was like it's its own thing, it's its own culture, sound system culture from like Puerto
I didn't even know you were Trini, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, when we chicken down the road, man. Like what's poppin'? I heard Trinidad and Tobago Carnival's fucking problem in the best way possible.
Yeah, I haven't been since I was a baby. I need to go back. I really do. And now it's just more a matter of like making the time and putting aside like the money for it and like a bunch of shit.
You still got family and cousins out there?
Of course.
Oh, yo.
Yeah.
Oh man, that could be fun.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
I gotta that might be I gotta ask Jess if I have permission to go hang out with her. It's like, I don't know what we're getting into.
Shit.
But yeah, like the sound system in the crib.
Yeah. So I grew up on so my dad was into. He would play a lot of the stuff for the family, like soca and tassa and stuff, and when he'd have his friends over, it'd be more into like the like dub reggae and roots and early dance hall, like OG dance hall is something I really like. Like it's such a cool, unique sound, like the early like Dennis Brown and Gregory Isaacs and.
See that I don't know. I'm not into that.
Word. Okay.
I should,
okay.
Obviously.
Can I play some?
Yes, please.
Okay. I think it's hard to pick like one song that's representative.
Just pick whatever you like, bro. Like, cause I remember my boy Carlos, aka Damn It Carlos. When I worked with him, he was really adamant about being like, this is reggae, this is dancehall, like. And it was like, this is the origin of this, and this is that, and this is soca, and this is calypso. Like, really on his, like, Caribbean music shit, and being like, they're things that make it different and differentiate it. Also, like...
Who is this? Because I would love to even just, like, have them on the podcast, too. Like, we can...
Oh, yeah.
He can come back and we can all, like...
He is the funniest... He's one of... Probably, like, top 10 funniest people in my life.
Okay.
And, like, I don't even work with him no more. But the nigga was like, it's like so funny and witty and smart. And he like does social work now and doesn't just work at a warehouse. But yeah, I'll definitely try to link y'all to. But
because it can all like really be so like
simple, baby.
Like the lines could be so blurred. Like as to what started, because like early dancehall sounds a lot like roots reggae. Like Barrington Levy was really like the start.
Okay.
As I understand of dancehall, and dancehall was called that because there'd be these halls where people would dance. They call them dance halls, and that's where the events would happen.
It's so funny how things get their names. It's
so
dumb as shit, like it's just like disco.
Yeah,
just because like disco when it first started had no sound, but DJs would just find a shit to play at discos, and then they started morphing a sound around it because like this was the shit that we like, this is the shit that got the shit moving, and then the industry started making music that conformed to the shit they were playing. It's so wild, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That just blows my fucking mind. Same thing with house music. It's like it's the shit we were playing. We were playing this shit first and finding it, and it was not a genre, and then motherfuckers started making shit to fit the genre that we had plucked out of thin air to fit it.
And name-wise, it's similar to dancehall because it's called house because of the warehouse.
Yeah. Facts.
That's where the music is being played, so it just takes the name. But let's get into this. So this is Dennis Brown, "Money in My Pocket." That's the name of the song. I'm gonna try to fade it in. Just I don't know how loud it's gonna be. Still trying to master this shit.
So this is early dancehall? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. This shit sounds amazing though, by the way. Like just as a song, bro.
Yeah.
Would you say this is was this like a hit? If someone was like, yo, play Dennis Brown and Or like the number one joint on Spotify is this like the one, or is this like
this is one of his biggest ones for sure. But it's not even his top 5 on Spotify. But in terms of like
that's okay. That's fire.
At the crib though, this was definitely
at the crib. This is number one. I don't know what you thought. Nah, I definitely. This is so fun too, cause like having friends over and playing shit like this, like I don't know if cats is like getting rowdy. Like it's not bringing out the same energy as fucking. It's not bringing out the same energy as like T.I. or fucking young like Jeezy when he first popped out, man.
Well, then it gets into like a little further down the line is like stuff like this.
Okay.
This is where it starts to get more digital with like the snares and stuff, and Yeah. See, like this I feel like I was listening to Bobby Connor's and Jabba playing Sunday nights back in the day. Yeah.
Like this shit. Is this? I wonder, like, how in depth is it for you? Like, when does the whole rhythms era pop up, where it's like everybody started like a beat is out, then everybody hops on a beat?
I really want to like know more. I think it has to come from dub. It has to come from dub. Like that would be my guess.
Yeah.
So dub reggae is an engineer's remix of a roots reggae song.
Yeah.
So like the band would record the dub reggae song and the engineer would take it and put a whole bunch of delays and weird reverbs and crazy effects on it. And then so like the A side would be like the original record and the B side would be like the dub version.
And it would be like more instrumental, right?
Exactly. So I imagine it had to come from that, but I don't entirely know for sure.
So it's got to be like the dub plates are out, and then people fuck with it, and then you start recording on top of the dub plate.
That's how I imagine it being. It has to be. Like I would love to know the origination of the rhythm, like where that started, who started that.
Yeah.
Because to me that's like a parallel to like what mixtapes were for us.
Oh yeah.
You know,
mixtape,
jacking for beats.
Facts, or just like DJ J Arms. Those DJ J Arms CDs were everywhere, and they just had all the instrumentals, and then like had the plane flying over it.
Yeah.
And like you could tell who did the extra step when they were like making their albums or like the freestyles, because like I remember hearing cats like putting out mixtapes, and you could still hear the fucking airplane on the beat when they're rapping. Like I vividly remember Lil Wayne rapping over some beat and hearing a shh, and I was like, bro, you couldn't even get the beat from the producer, you're Lil Wayne.
But that Piff era.
That shit before that Piff. This is before motherfuckers was on blogs, bro. You just buying.
Because when you say Wayne, I mean Wayne's been around forever. So I don't know what. I was when you say Wayne, I'm thinking like Drop 3 and on.
So like, I gotta be honest, I wasn't heavy into mixtapes.
Okay.
Like my cousin was the one that was into mixtapes. Like my cousin played Stack Bundles. Like Stack Bundles is still out, and like all his music is fresh.
Yeah.
And like shout to everybody that does that. But like I do remember, cause you just had dudes selling CDs on corners, and just being like, oh, you got instrumentals, and like buying just instrumental CDs, or like the really bad photoshopped, like the Hot 97 mixtape, and it's just like really bad versions or like bootleg versions of everything you heard on Hot 97, with like a girl with half her butt hanging out on the front of the cover. But yeah, those like
stuff you get on the Ave.
I wish I was more cognizant at the time. So a lot of my reference for music and like my hip hop is just from listening to Hot 97 wild religiously. So like I wasn't outside like a lot of people when I was in high school, when I was in middle school. Like you get some people that was like, oh, we was outside going to warehouses, partying, like driving stolen cars home. That was not my life at all.
Same.
Like I was listening to Hot 97 wildly religious. Like there was a point where I could tell time about who was DJing. Not just who was DJing, but like which drop they were using. at the time because I was listening to Hot 97 so much, and that was like the 12 o'clock, like old school at 12, and then the 5 o'clock free ride, and then when I was much older and I was working and I worked for AutoZone for 5 years and I was driving a truck not a truck, but I was driving a cargo van most of the time. So obviously I'm listening to that and I'm just like the new it too, and just listening to like Camilo and Red Alert play everything and being like, yo, this is dope. Or like being in the crib playing PlayStation but listening to like Ladies Night on Hot 97 and listening to Coco Chanel DJ. Like that was my ish. That was the shit I was listening to that kind of like that shaped and helped mold me like to be the music lover and the DJ I am today, honestly. And another thing was fucking Mark Ronson. So like
Mark Ronson.
Yeah, so this is so weird because I realized a couple things. One, I've always been listening to music just because of my parents and just like listening to the radio. But like me being an active participant in music really didn't come until like maybe my 20s. So like it's late in comparison to other cats that like do this.
You're also pretty bad water if you want.
Yeah. That's really late compared to a lot of other people that are like in it to win it from like high school. Like one of the dudes that I rock with that I used to work with, his name is Tiba. You ever heard of Tiba? Like he made a bunch of edits that are all fire, and I was begging him like, can you please put these on a flash drive? Like I know you know, like put this on a flash drive for me, please, please. Just and he was like, yo, I got you. Never happened, just cause like he was like, yo, I gotta organize everything. I was like, all right, cool, bro. But like he would tell stories about being underage, going to parties to listen to Dirty Finger DJ in warehouses, and I'm just like, damn, that sounds like a lot of fun. That's not what I was doing. But so later on in life, like I started listening to underground hip hop. I started interning at Fat Beats, like after the fact. Like I was interning at Power 105, and my homie who was working there also worked at Fat Beats, got me in touch with Fat Beats, so I was doing that. The other thing that happened was I started dating someone that lived in Rhode Island, and that's a long ass bus ride. So I was listening to like EVR podcasts. And do you remember East Village Radio at all? Was that a part of you? So like, it's so funny. I've been talking about East Village Radio like for the past week for some reason. I don't know why, it just keeps popping up. But East Village Radio was a radio station that was on like First Avenue. It was very small. It was smaller than this room. All it was equipment, and what they would do is they would put out podcasts. You do a live stream, put out podcasts. And this is the early days of podcasting. So people were just making mix shows and putting them in podcasts. Like, fuck it, we outside. And one of the people that had a podcast on East Village Radio, along with Fat Beats, was Mark Ronson. Mark Ronson, unbeknownst to me, this might be a chicken or egg thing. I don't know if I was searching for ooh wee and then figured out it was Mark Ronson and then found the radio show because of that, or vice versa. I think that's what happened. So like, well, I'm going a really long circuitous route to get to like why Mark Ronson means so much to me.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Are you familiar with the song "Ooh Wee"? Pull it up, because that's one of my favorite beats ever. It's "Ooh Wee." It's by Mark Ronson. Ghostface is on it, and Saigon is on it. If you remember Saigon.
Mark Ronson did a song with Ghostface. That's already like blowing my mind.
So the Mark Ronson of today is not like what he's doing.
Anything pre Amy Winehouse, I don't know of.
So it's the album before he was like doing a bunch of stuff with Amy and Adele. He was also an early producer for Adele too, and also signed Wale to his label first before he got signed to Maybach Music. That first album that he puts out, the one that has "Chillin'" on it with Lady Gaga. That's the Mark Ronson project. And then after that, he starts doing all the Maybach Music stuff. So, like...
Make him, wait, was it Make Him Say?
What do you mean? Oh, no.
Oh, that was Kid Cudi, right?
No, Wale's...
I'm trying to remember. It was like a pop song that was like the first like Wale. He was like a feature on a pop song.
So Make Him Say... So, all right. So Make Him Say is Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
And that's good music shit.
Yeah.
So his first like single, like big pop single, was "Chillin'," featuring Lady Gaga. That was like that was off his first album, which really doesn't sound like anything else he made since then.
I'm gonna play it.
All right, play.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
All right, but play. Yeah. But the other thing about that is Lady Gaga is one of these cats from New York. She went to NYU. She grew up in New York, I'm pretty sure. So it would make sense that Mark Ronson would know her from just being on the scene. Like half of this shit is just being outside, just the whole music industry shit. And so it's why like Lizzo like isn't what do you call not a one-hit wonder, but someone in overnight success. Doja Cat and Lizzo are not overnight successes. They had been outside heavy for like ever, like 5 to 10 years before they hit their like pop blow up. And that's why they're so good at it, because they've been making music and performing steadily. So when they got put on a bigger stage, all they did was and all they did was expand their ideas. And it's why Lil Nas X is such an anomaly, because usually if you don't have that experience, like he wasn't out doing a bunch of shows and stuff like that, but whatever genius that he has within himself, and also to put that he got the team that he put around himself, blew that up and blew that out in a way that should not have worked but worked well. So all this, let's go back to Ooh Wee. Yeah. So Ooh Wee is a phenomenal beat, and they would use it on MTV all the fucking time, and I had no idea what the fuck this song was, and was like searching for it. Was like, what the fuck is this? I don't know what this is. This is such a dope song. What the fuck? And then finally it gets used in Hitch. It's the last song, I think, as the movie goes off. Okay. And then I was like, what? And I stayed to the end of the fucking credits, and it's like, Ooh Wee, Mark Ronson featuring Ghostface and Saigon. And I was like, fucking finally. Then I immediately am like, what? I need more Mark Ronson.
And everything always comes back to Will Smith.
The impetus of this shit. Will Smith. Fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Bro, like... So, like, I was like, what is this? I need more Mark Ronson. And he was doing a show on EVR. And then coming to find out his backstory is like, he was born in the UK, grew up in New York, is a phenomenal DJ, like next level shit. Like, was out here grinding in these clubs in New York back in the day, and was just known for like blending shit. And I think, is it Sylvia Rowan? So, Ooh Wee is off his first album, which I believe is called Here Comes the Fuzz. And it's a producer album. He produced everything. And I think even like Rhyme Fest is on there too. So it's a bunch of like rappers on top of shit. And
Kanye's ghostwriter.
Internet.
Just
yes, one of many.
Those who listen to this and you don't know, right?
Also, International Affair by Sean Paul is on there too.
Yeah.
On Here Comes the Fuzz. So I hop on, listen to EVR, and he's just playing a bunch of dope shit. First place I heard Wale was on a remix to it was the remix to Chicago Falcon by by the Minahan Street Band. It's the first time I heard Wale. And then
I just recently heard them, like Minahan Street Band.
Yeah.
Like, fire.
Anyway. Yeah, all fire. Because also like, it's mostly the like Daptone Records. They was just putting out, at the time they was putting out straight heat. I'm not sure if they're still putting out all the same straight heat, but they was putting out straight heat. It's the Minahan Street Band, which is also the Budos Bands. If you ever hear horns on a Mark Ronson song, it's usually the Budos Bands doing that. So,
and that's related to the Minahan Street Band as well?
They're all Daptone Records, and I'm pretty sure the same people that playing Minahan Street Band playing the Budos Band. Also, same motherfuckers that's in Dap Kings. The Sharon Jones and Dap Kings, Daptone Records, Dap Kings is like the house band for them. So, Sharon Jones, that was her band. Same shit. Fucking, I always forget this man's name. It was a singer, started out as a fucking James Brown impersonator. Started as a James Brown impersonator, wasn't really popping for a while, but then got super fire. Charles something, and they call him the Night Falcon. Phenomenal dude, phenomenal voice. But like this, not Night Falcon, Screaming Falcon, and like these are him and Sharon Jones were cats that were out for forever, but then like blew the fuck up in the mid 2010s.
All right, but let's listen to Ooh because
Yes.
I also want to follow. But let's get to Ooh and then we'll pick up.
Yeah. Yo, and they play
This is Mark Ronson?
Yes. Let me tell you.
Wow, this is why I'm doing this podcast. It's moments like this, like seriously. So thank you.
Let me tell you who else was on that album. Nappy Roots.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Bruh.
Yeah, Nappy Roots, Anthony Hamilton.
Fucking Rivers Cuomo.
Like I said, Weezer.
International Affairs on it. It's nuts that Mark Ronson produced a Sean Paul hit. International Affairs is a hit. It probably charted, and no one's gonna talk about it. That's like when I found out that fucking
Which one?
International Affair.
Okay.
By Sean Paul.
I don't know if I know that by name.
Bruh, it's if you heard it, you'd be like, yeah, I heard this. Like it's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is Mark Ronson.
Yo, right?
Okay.
Yeah. This shit is bananas.
What rhythm did they take for this though? What did they sample? Because I know
yeah.
I know the OG.
Yeah.
It's not I'm Still in Love, is it? It kind of sounds like I'm Still in Love.
That's the thing. It kind of sounds like I'm Still in Love. It's dope. What is it? It says ooey consistent.
You ever heard the OG of this?
Yes.
Hortensia's?
Yeah.
So it's not this. It's
nah.
Or is it just come later, the little like
I don't know. We might have to go to Who Sampled for that.
Oh man. That's gonna bother me. You know, Ross Diggy would know the answer to this.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. It says Uptown Ranking, Althea and Donna.
Oh, let's.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
No time. Is that?
Oh, not the roots.
Yeah. I think that's a different song, but Uptown Ranking by Althea and Donna. Yeah.
It's not that rhythm though. It's very similar. It's very similar.
But there's definitely a whole sample that like he worked to get to an excellent spot.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of? Oh yeah. I am thinking of the song.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no pop. No pop, no style. Strictly roots. Yeah. I gotta do a deep dive on some roots and some early dancehall, cause like this shit hit, man.
I could send you some joints. I'd love to send you some joints.
Yeah. Please. So this is, but it is very close to fucking.
It is close to I'm Still in Love.
Wait, did I give?
I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for that little flute part, the or whatever instrument that is. I don't think it's a flute, but like
that. Maybe you played it. No,
they didn't.
No.
They didn't play it yet. It's probably like an instrumental break that. This is 3,000%. Here it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Mark Ronson.
Yeah. Yo. He also did fried chicken for Nas.
You did what?
He did fried chicken for Nas.
I don't know if I know that song.
It's a cool little song. It's Nas featuring Busta Rhymes. But yeah, like. Yo, Mark Ronson is phenomenal. I mean, obviously, didn't he just win a fucking Grammy for Barbie?
Dude,
because he did
I didn't see
soundtrack.
Grammys.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But like, he's a fucking monster. But like I know him from doing rap shit and doing the show, and then he started blowing up.
You ever see the Apple TV show that he has called Watch the Sound?
No.
It's really dope. If you're like he does deep dives on like distortion. He does one on vocals. It's like 5 episodes, I think, and he just like picks like these specific musical concepts.
And you said it's on,
like I don't know how these all like vocals and distortion. I mean, it's used on distortion is used on vocals, but not just vocals. He does one on reverb and like the one just on reverb. So he like he goes like with this guy who. It's not the entire episode, but there's a part of the episode where there's a guy who, or like this plugin company that like captures reverbs from certain, like in the real world, and like they'll record it and then like actually make it a plugin type shit. So he's like literally in like underground with like the flashlight shit on his head, like with this guy, and they're just like recording the reverbs of like in this like underground like tunnel like type thing. It's like it's crazy.
That's fucking bonkers, man. Yeah. Like I remember watching his TED talk on remixes.
I saw that.
And that was cool. Like like Mark Ronson. I just really liked like how he did things, and then really enjoyed listening to the show, and like everything about it was just very fucking cool. And I don't know, man. I was just like, yo, I got a DJ. I got a DJ like Mark Ronson. Still have yet to hear this man DJ in real life, and it's so dumb. Like,
did you watch? Oh, in real life,
yes.
Where
there was a time. First off, it's very weird that I've never met Mark Ronson. Like, it would just seem like at some point I would have been in a spot that he was also at, like by accident, and then also. I never
because you're at Sirius XM especially, right? Like,
well, no. That has nothing to do with Sirius. It has more to do with me running around random places in the like 2000s, in the 2010s in New York, and that goes back to like just being outside is half the battle, because like just being outside. If you were going to vape in the 2000s, you would have met Kid Cudi. If you were just outside going to like Mad Decent Block Party, or you were going to just I don't know, Max Fish back in the day, you would have been in the same space as so many different people. 2A bar, like fucking Miss Lily's back in the day. Jubilee used to have a radio show on Miss Lily's radio, and they had a fucking radio show in a record store, in a fucking restaurant, bro. Like,
I think the closest thing we have in terms of like our generation, even though it's a Los Angeles movement, Selection is probably like the closest thing to that. To that vibe. No, you don't think so?
No, because here's the difference.
Yeah.
Selection. Well, number one, Selection ushered in help. I want to say this right. So Selection was a watershed moment for a bunch of different people, and it educated a generation on a different type of music and what is possible and what you could and should be listening to and playing. Now, people were doing it before Selection. Run P in particular was heavy on playing edits, remixes. I remember going out, and that was his whole thing. He had a whole party, and that was his whole shit, just doing that. And there are other people that always made a point to be like, I'm gonna play edits, or like, I'm gonna try to find the next sound, and that's where we got like a bunch of cats playing ballet flunk. But Selection, like, love it or hate, like, Joe K now. But, like, a lot of motherfuckers wouldn't know who K Tronada was, and wouldn't know what that sound and that bounce was. Look, him, if it wasn't for Selection
early, they were playing Shmino early.
Yeah.
That's why I'm using, because, like, I'm sure they also did events, like, with these people.
But, like, what I would say the difference is, like, that was a very specific collective doing a thing. What had more to do with it was the LA beat scene at the time, which I think was like Ross G and fucking Madlib and Fly Low, and them doing all those beat shows that sounded different from like different beat battles, and cats were like, oh, music, it's okay to make music, like it's okay to make beats that aren't for rhyming and aren't for vocals. And then what I'm talking about is kind of like blog era party scene in New York. where and I mean, it's still happening to some degree now. Pandemic fucked a lot of shit up, but more like free shows, RSVPs, where you were seeing Princess Nokia Trans Pecos, where you were seeing like fucking ASAP Mob, and people were following Yams' blog religiously like it was a fucking Bible. And it's hard to do that now because the spaces have changed, and there's a lot more people who call themselves curators. So like it's very spread out. And the scene right now, I don't know if it's shifting or changing, and I'm also like low key, I might be aging out of it, whatever. But like a lot of the stars right now, and a lot of the gatekeepers now, and a lot of people that work in the industry, and there are executives, and there are the people that run these clubs now, were all coming up in the same time. It all coalesced, and it was a bunch of motherfuckers companies had a lot of money to do fun shit, and people were really trying to take advantage of it, and that birthed a lot. Like Converse rubber soles, complete vanity project that does not exist anymore. Red Bull Music Studios, complete vanity project. They don't even do Red Bull music anymore. And Red Bull was like, they were financing a lot of people's shows. They were giving people free studio time, which was hella important. And a lot of motherfuckers are meeting each other, going there, figuring that out. And they had the Red Bull Scholarship. They would do the Red Bull Music Festival every year. CMJ no longer exists. That was New York's answer for South by Southwest. South by Southwest, before it was tech and film, all music, and it wasn't flooded with like major labels, so you could go there, connect, meet people you didn't know before, and like help build your name there. So like, what I'm saying, so like right now, a lot of things have changed. The technology has changed a lot. Social media has changed a lot, but also these companies aren't spending a ton of money on vanity projects that would also help create a scene and also help artists that wouldn't have these resources otherwise. Like even fucking Vans, they were doing House of Vans everywhere. That shit ain't happening the same way it was before. Like when fucking Brisk Iced Tea, not Brisk Iced Tea, Arizona Iced Tea was putting out $1 shoes before pandemic, and like creating scenes, like it don't hit the same. Now, the scene is gonna morph and it's gonna change because it always does. CBGB's was going long before I was running outside. There's still punk shows happening. Like the scene is always gonna morph. Something new was gonna happen. House happened because it had to happen, and people wanted to dance and hear the music they wanted to hear. So the shit is gonna shift again and change, and that's cool. I'm just saying that like that Mark Ronson shit, Doja Cat shit, like that all was bubbling in that cauldron that was New York at that time.
Yeah. And
so like it was cool to see that happen, but also like now it's gonna happen again, but it's gonna like Brooklyn Drill is an example of it happening again, but in a different way. Like I don't know, and the thing is I don't know how that's happening. Like I don't know when it was like, yo, we're gonna take these beats and rap like this over it. And I also don't know where the fuck were they performing. If you're 17 and you rap and you the motherfuckers that made that song bent, where the fuck are they performing this song? Like where?
Yeah.
Cause like you're 17, where are you gonna get the opportunity to perform somewhere that's not a bar, like, or just have a stage? Who's gonna let y'all have a stage? So like, yeah, I don't even know how we got here, but I was just very adamant about being like, selection was a thing and is wildly important to the state of music right now.
Yeah.
Like insanely.
Yeah.
But like, I'm talking about something a little different. I'm sure it wasn't just confined to New York, but it's like that weird combination of like money to spend and somehow giving motherfuckers resources and platforms they might not have had before. Whereas now, like, this shit is way more selective, or it's strictly online, or it's like, it's fucking Chinatown sound. It's under the radar. It's the fucking outside freestyles. So now everything is like online based, and the guerrilla shit is happening that way. It's just different because that's all like sporadic shit. Is like all sporadic shit that's like gets made and put out for consumption, as opposed to like we're getting 90 million motherfuckers in the same spot and being like, yo,
the funniest thing about me and Jess's relationship is that how many times we were in the same place at the same time, but didn't know each other. And that's like shit that doesn't necessarily wouldn't happen with the same frequency today. Sorry.
That's like literally the law of attraction. Right?
Oh, is it? I haven't read that book, but yeah.
I'm sure there's multiple books on law of attraction. I don't even know if it's one book, but you understand like what the like concept is? It's basically that like our thoughts are our behaviors, and then like if we change the way you think and you change, it's all about manifestation.
Yeah. Okay.
It's basically like if you change the way that you think, or you change the way that you feel about things, it can and then if you go towards the things that you want, it will attract the life that you want, basically.
I mean my entire life is law of attraction, because like I've in very circuitous ways I've been trying to like do like music stuff, music related things, or like radio things, broadcast things, and like I look at it now as like I haven't touched the surface. I haven't scratched the surface of anything. Yeah. But I can still say, yo, I've been to South by Southwest several times. I was DJing for K Gaines, and we opened up for George Clinton. I'm on Sirius XM once a week with DJ Clips and DJ Riz for Rappers Out of Control. 10 to midnight Eastern. Tune in, y'all.
Are you like on air? You also
I have a segment. Like I have a segment on there where I announce like local shows.
That's dope.
But like but that's all from like, and the whole reason I was interning at Fat Beats was because I was interning at Power 105, and I was interning at Power 105 because I went to the reason I was interning at Power 105, I think, was because I just got done interning at Bad Boy, and the reason I was interning at Bad Boy was because I went to IAR. And even when I was done with IAR, I was interning at Bad Boy, I was supposed to be in the studio. They had me in the executive office, so I didn't even do the shit I was there for. But like that's on the resume. Fucking and the whole reason I'm on Sirius is because I interned at Fat Beats. So I went to CSB, got an internship at Sirius XM. While I was at Sirius XM, realized that DJ Eclipse had a show on Sirius XM. I was like, bro, I'm here interning already. Let me pull up. Well, I can say this now. I was supposed to be doing it at the time. But I was like, yo, I can pull up. Can I answer phones for your show? He was like, sure. 6 years later, I'm still on Sirius. I I don't work for Sirius. I just work with Eclipse. But like I've been in that building ever since. Now, is it where I'd want to end? Nah. But at least I did the thing, and I did that because I just kept being around shit that was related to what I wanted to do, and stuff is like interlinked, and just being outside.
So what's the like, you've done a lot of dope stuff, like, and you are doing dope stuff. So like, I know you got Teenage Mutant Ninja Funk. Is that the whole?
No, it's literally
Teenage Mutant Funk.
It's just Mutant Funk.
Mutant Funk.
It's
okay.
just Mutant Funk. But like that party was Teenage Mutant Ninja Funk.
Okay.
But like, and that's I gotta be honest. We really enjoyed doing that, and like we're just like, we're gonna do that every year, and it's gonna be a toy drive from now on. So like now we're gonna like,
that's dope.
Yeah, cause like it made sense, cause like we wanted to do the show, and like the way Wonderville works is a little interesting when they give out dates. But like we're like, yo, we should do this every year from now on. We should make it a toy drive from now on. Yeah. Cool. So like bing bang boom. But like and stuff like that is just for me being outside.
So what are you working towards? Like what's the vision? I know like last time we texted, we talked about like, just like catching up, and like, we're at the top of 2024 right now. So like what were you thinking? Like what's been on your mind lately?
Really trying to figure out like what I want to do and how I need to go about it. So like I really want to do this radio shit, and I haven't pursued it fervently in a while. So like
radio in like what sense? Like
in all senses. I want to, like I said years ago, like many moons ago when I was a young pup, before I had gray hair in my pubes, I was just like, I want to be the Ryan Seacrest of radio, even though Ryan Seacrest is already the Ryan Seacrest of radio. Just like, there's no reason I shouldn't have a podcast.
Like, that would be like Casey Kasem? That's aging.
No,
That's aging.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
aging.
But no,
But-
like when I say Ryan Seacrest the radio,
Yeah.
remember how Ryan Seacrest was just every fucking where at one point? It was just like,
Yeah. And Casey Kasem was on like Saved by the Bell, bro. Like,
yeah, but not like that. Like Casey Kasem was a world famous radio host and one of the most iconic voices ever in media.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Was also on Saved by the Bell. That's very cool.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Ryan Seacrest had like two syndicated radio shows, was doing American Idol, was also hosting like on E, and like had podcasts. Like
I think Casey Kasem was bigger than Ryan Seacrest. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
As a radio voice,
Put some respect
yes,
on Casey Kasem.
bro. As a radio voice, yes. But I'm saying Ryan Seacrest was fucking everywhere at one point.
Yeah.
Like it was an inescapable force of nature.
Yeah.
Like Mario Lopez wishes, bro. like you gotta remember. Like at one point, it was just inevitable and inescapable. It was
You think Mario Lopez was not as big as Ryan Seacrest?
Absolutely.
That's crazy to me. Yo, he had so Saved by the Bell. He had America's Best Dance Crew. He was on wasn't he on like a cop show or something at the same time? He was on another like major. Yo,
I think what you don't understand is how OD Ryan Seacrest is. Like I don't even know how to fucking fully explain how he was fucking everywhere at the same goddamn time.
Pacific Blue. I think that was that
cool.
was that the.
Listen, Mario Lopez has had a wonderful, long, and storied career. He was on one of the most influential sitcoms ever, right?
Yeah.
Seminal show for people. He's been a host on several different things.
Yeah.
My guy, fucking Ryan Seacrest has a New Year's Eve show named after him. Like, we can talk about the E shit. We can talk about the Today Show. We can talk about like he's about to take over Wheel of Fortune. Ryan Seacrest took over for Casey Kasem, my guy. And also, like,
did he
bro,
really?
Yes.
And where?
He's on American's Top 40, which is a syndicated show.
Wow.
In 2004,
you got lucky with that one. You didn't even know that one. You got lucky with that.
No, I didn't. But like, he was inescapable for a minute. All I'm saying is like this. There's no reason why I can't be on terrestrial radio, satellite radio, be on internet radio, and have a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
And I was just like, just do it. Just do the fucking thing. Like, I've been on podcasts before. I've been on fairly long running podcasts before. One of which I hope does not see the light of day because I played a character on there that does not reflect the person I am today. It was wild, bro. And then like the other one is very informative. If you listen to it, you'll just think I'm smart about rap, which is cool. That one I'll shout out. Shout out to
but having to play a character and be on a
Hard Knock
podcast
Life.
is not.
Well, no.
When
When I say play a character, it wasn't even like we were acting. I just realized at the time I was amping up a bunch. I was talking about side chick day. Never in my life have I had a side chick. I'm just over here like wilding, saying outrageous, outlandish shit for like lives and shits and giggles.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's just like so doing that, and then also figuring out how to make money in a way that will make me happy and won't cause me agita, and will also set me up so I can like have a family and be able to sustain whatever family that I start to grow, and like my mom, and just so we're good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like what I'm focused on, and like figuring out, okay, what training should I get? Like I was having a conversation with my friend, and I was like, yeah. She was like, didn't you go to IAR? Didn't you go to CSB? And I was like, yo, at this point, that was like 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'll be applying for like jobs. And I'm like, this is cool. And technically I'm certified, but like the software I was trained on, motherfuckers not even using right now. So maybe I need to go back to school. maybe I need to like go get a cert. Maybe I should actually finish college. Like, figure that out. Just get the bona fides and also just get trained. Like, I realized the way you said that you're self-taught, I can't do that. Like, yeah, I went to school to learn how to DJ. Now, like, I'm much better now than I was then. And like, I can incorporate techniques now that I was like see online. That's cool. But at the same time, it's like, I understand I do better when I'm being like instructed how to do some things in some sort of like academic atmosphere. But all I have to say is like, yo, figure out what I want to learn and how to learn it. And then just go full force and just be like, we're doing this broadcast shit. Like, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out how to do it correctly and just DJ more effectively. And also I need to and grow Mutant Funk. Like, pushing Mutant Funk is about to be like the thing. And matter of fact, tomorrow I have a meeting with the homies, and we're just figuring out where we want to go, where we want to take it, what we want to do with it. For the longest time, I was like, I just want to have a traveling party, like fucking grits and biscuits.
And Mutant Funk is you, Nando.
It's me, Nando, Mr. Dinosaur, Dewey 87, Andre Dowdy, because he refused to have a DJ name, and DJ Rob Champion. Okay. And that's Mutant Funk. We're a crew, and we're going to be putting on events, and we're going to DJ. We're going to put our name out there. Who knows? The sky's the limit, because like between
and you have been. You're not just going to. You have been.
Yeah, we have been. We've been putting on. We've been doing shows in Wonderville at this point for like 2 or 3 years. It's always a great time. The shows that we do are just fun and good, and also like just feel like family and community. So like that's what we're trying to do, and also be a platform for other DJs that we can showcase. You know. And also that's the other thing.
Also, y'all do a really unique situation with the relay. The like have 4 DJs at the same time. Yeah. Now you're taking back to back to like it's like back to back exponentially.
I mean, it's just fun, bro. Like that's the whole thing. It was the original idea. I was trying to have it better together when I was still doing those. Like 2 things. Everything is better together, and also like I realized like putting the focus on me never works. It's just better when there other people are the focus. So, like that. Like that's the whole thing. And like
when you say putting the focus on you never works, could you break that down? Because I think that's interesting.
I just feel like whenever I try to put myself, when I make things about me, it's usually like the lowest outcome that I get. Like if I do something or do an event, or even like just think about things, you know. Like I am selfish in a lot of ways. I wish I wasn't, and like putting other people first seems to get the best my best effort, but also just like the best out of me and the best outcome. Like it just is. Like the one time I was doing birthday parties for a minute, and the church I used to go to way back, they used to do this thing called Everybody's Birthday, and like they would just celebrate like every month having it. They would act like everyone's having a birthday party on the same day, and it was really cool. And so like I did that one year, and I called my party Everybody's Birthday. And I was like, it was my birthday, but I was like, yo, it's so much better when it's like everybody feels like they're having fun or everybody's special. And then like when I had tried to throw birthday parties, like, oh yeah, come to see me. Like it's still cool and it's fun. I just feel like everything works out better and feels a little bit better when it's like about other people, you know? And also like I'm good at being a cheerleader for other people. Like I'm good at like talking up other people. And matter of fact, one of the things I noticed about Sway, because I interned for Sway for 6 months. He is excellent at making it feel like you are the best thing to ever happen, ever, under all circumstances. And he does it in a way that is not false, but is hyperbolic. So like threading that needle of being like, I'm going to be as truthful as possible about you and also make it grandiose. It just makes you feel like you can take over the whole fucking world. And
that's good. That's good leadership.
Oh, yeah, facts. And like even had to like can be very scary and it's about his shit. He don't fuck around. So like I made a mistake one day. They made it to on air. And as soon as the show was over, he was like, yo, come in here. Close the door. Look at me. If you ever do that again, you will be fired. point blank period. You will no longer be on this show. And I was like, all right, bet. It's like, we good? We good. That was it.
What did you do?
I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
But like, I did a thing. It made it to air. And it's something that you would not notice unless you had worked with Sway. And it was something that they had told me about. And I'm not going to pass blame, but I got set the fuck up. not set up, but like, I just had to edit some shit. And the edit I did, I just did some. I should have edited some shit out. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay. Should have edited some shit out. Forgot to edit it out. And he was like, if you have to do that shit again, you're off. And I was like, bet. But it was after that, like, but not even like in a terrorizing way, just like very matter of fact. That is like, this is the line. Nah. Anything after that, like, nah. But like, even that, like, was like super respected. Like, respected the shit out of him. And also he let me DJ on his show too. And that was after that. So like,
yeah.
So like, I was look at that and look at the way he approaches like all of his interviews. Like, even like all of his interviews are that way. When he introduces people that way too. So I just try to be the same way. And also just a good philosophy to have is just like, all right, what about this person is dope? Let's big up the dope thing about this person. And if I can incorporate that in regular life, that'd probably be good too. It's just like, all right, what is dope about this human? Let's just big that up.
That makes sense because the last set I did at Better Together, you gave me such a great intro. Yeah. And you're so good on the mic, bro. Like,
I appreciate that.
Because I think now I'm stepping into like just being more comfortable in general, like as a human. Mm-hmm. But I still think of you saying like that I'm tall, but I don't make people feel small, and that's a skill. He's like, that's a skill. That's a skill. You know, I still think about that. I crack up like every now and then, just like, yo, that's hilarious. The fact that you just freestyle that's impressive,
bro. I be in a zone and not even thinking, just talking, man. Like,
do you get nervous at all when like before you get on the mic or like
every time?
Yeah, yo, that's crazy because I also talked to Ross Diggy about this. And Ross Diggy, I've always looked at as like, wow, this guy's like incredible when I see him on the mic. You know, it looks so natural, but you don't know what's going on in that person's mind. And I've talked to him about it. And same thing. He's like, yeah, I'm nervous every time technically, but I fight through it.
Yeah.
And then does it become like easier for you throughout the show?
Well, like it's nervous in the sense like I get nervous every time I perform at all. So like even if I'm DJing in front of like nobody, I'm still nervous. Like Jess will tell you like I would annoy the fuck out of her like for various different things. But like I need, I don't know if I'm gonna say I need the anxiety, but however it's like the second you start losing that shit, that's how you know you need to get out of here. Like I fucking Turnmill, I was nervous to do that shit. I was like it became doldrums, so that's how you know you're out of here. But like. It does get easier through the show.
You know what that reminds me of? This quote that I love, that the opposite of hate isn't the opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is indifference.
Yeah. Apathy is a fucking killer, man.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like I'm nervous. Like you'll see me like take a breath or two before I even like talk on the mic, and then you hear me talk, and you just be like this motherfucker was born to do this shit. Like, and I don't even know. It's just like I know for a fact that part of the appeal of having me somewhere is also like they want the introduction, they want the big introduction, they want the energy on the mic, and I know I bring that. I know that I can do that, but it's still like nervous. I still get nervous just because, like, I still want to be good. Like, I still want people to fuck with it. And also, I want to do all these people justice, you know?
And that's important, though, to know that other people get nervous because it can seem so effortless from the outside looking in. Like, to me, it seems effortless. It seems like you just do this, and it's, like, natural for you. And I think there's some truth to that, but also, I think I think it, like, can overlook what you're actually going through in the moment, and that you're actually like rising up to a challenge and like working through that every single time. And that's what I think this music shit is about, is like the work is, I have a friend of mine who uses this analogy of like get in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're feeling anxious or you just don't want to do something, or like, you know, we plan events, and you know, the day comes and it's like, oh fuck, like I got to worry about like a million things that I set up. I did this to myself. You know, there's that understanding, like I did this to myself. I want to do this. Maybe I'm not entirely sure why I want to do it all the time, or why I do this to myself in a way. But at the end of the day, you get in the ring, you know, you rise to the occasion, you do the damn thing. And at the end of the day, it's just like such a relief. Like, whoa, I did that shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's just like, the other thing too is like, it still takes effort, bro. Shit ain't easy. Like, I say this shit all the time. It is easy to learn how to DJ. It is hard to be a good DJ. And like, there's still energy. Like, I might be doing transitions that I've done a million times before, or like, I know that if I play this song, I can play these next 4 songs. Like, and even if you go to a party, if you like, oh, if you hear Lumi D, odds are you're about to hear fucking Sean Paul. You're like, and then you might hear Wayne Wonder. You can do that shit all day, every day.
Yeah.
But it's still like the effort to be like, all right, I got to mix into these songs, but also, am I getting the right reaction from these 3 songs that I'm supposed to get?
Yeah.
Like from the crowd. And that's still energy. Like if you know that you can break a board, if you know you can punch through a board, right? And you're just like, yo, I've done it a million times. I can punch through this board. You still need to have the same amount of energy to punch through the board. Like the task is still a task. Like entertaining motherfuckers, performing, like it's still a task, and it can be a Herculean task depending on like how much it means to you, or just the difficulty or how uncomfortable you are. Like I had a friend, Twin T, she DJ'd a wedding, but the wedding required her to DJ all vinyl. And it was like, they had very specific requests. So she had to go source all that shit, buy all that shit for the wedding, and then play all that shit at the wedding. And it was all vinyl. And like, she's a vinyl collector. Some of it she had, some of it she didn't have. And on top of that,
she must have charged.
She dope. And she got paid well. You got talking about being paid for what you're worth?
Yeah.
Tammy makes sure she get her motherfucking worth. Shout to her.
Yeah.
Like Tallahassee Jacksonville, Florida, don't motherfucking play.
Yeah.
But like, it's still a Herculean task. And that's like, the prep shit was Herculean. And her actually doing it still Herculean. And like, there's so many other things to look at it too, like depending on how serious you take your job. Like if you're a wedding DJ, it's like, yeah, it might be shooting fish in a barrel. Like if you have a certain set, you do that, cool. But like, it's still you're making a memory for somebody. Like it's hard for me to keep it in mind when I DJ, but I try to keep it in mind, especially because like, this is like, I usually DJ in New York City, right?
Yeah.
If you're in New York City, someone is literally trying to have the time of their life every single day in the city. Someone is. Like, whether it be a tourist or just someone from out of town, you never know. So if you're DJing anywhere in New York City, someone is trying to have the best night of their life. So I owe it to them to try to make the memory, set the stage, like trying to get somebody pregnant when I'm DJing. Like I'm trying to make sure somebody, like, this could be the middle of their night. This could be the beginning of their night. This could be the story that they tell their grandkids, like, on their deathbed, whatever. But, like, I just want to be a part of that and, like, to give it the same, like, weight that it deserves, you know?
I think like, something, you know, that's kind of come. So I'm working on an album with Bamada.
Yeah.
And something that's come up a lot as a theme and just in conversations about life that I've taken away from what we've done so far, and I think it's kind of like a real big realization for me, and kind of like a key to life, is like the more you're able to show up with intention to things, just like the better person you are. Like whether, like, you can apply to literally everything. Like it could apply to being a DJ, being a producer, musician. You play a sport, you know, how you show up to practice every day. A father, a son, a brother, like, you know, like that's the real challenge, I think, is just like what are you going through the motions with in life? And it can easily happen, and it's something you have to stay on top of as things get routine. You have to find like new ways to keep interest, to challenge yourself, or like you said with that gig you had, to get out of the situation and find the next thing that you could like bring that intention to. Because there's a lot of people who can just like pull up with a pre-made playlist, collect the check, and it is what it is. But the people, like the event itself, isn't going to be as good as someone who's like intentionally being there and looking at the crowd, looking people in their eyes, and like really trying to connect. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Shoot. Yeah, living with intention. I don't know. I really have to work on that. Cause like,
no, I mean, but it sounds like I say that because it sounds like that's what that's exactly what you were just saying.
Yeah, like living with intention. Is a constant thing.
That's so much easier said than done at the same time.
And it's practice, right? Like you were talking about like law of attraction and manifesting. That takes so much practice to be like, all right, I need to change it. Changing the way you think takes a lot of practice and reminding yourselves. Like, I'm terrible at it. My self-talk in my head is a terrifying place, you know? But, you know, sometimes I look without, just like gotta like check in with friends, and then other times, you know, just gotta remind yourself, like, yo, you're a pretty bitch, and you know, like, or I'm a bad bitch. Like I gotta remind myself sometimes that's who the fuck I am. Like it was so funny. Like I went to Puerto Rico for a festival for my friend's birthday, and just chilling. But it was just how I was moving out there, how the sun felt. Man, sunlight is such a difference maker in life. And just moving out there, I came back, I was like, nah, yo, I gotta be my bad bitch here for like the rest of the year, bro. Cause you couldn't have told me shit when I was in Puerto Rico. Like it was nice. It was great. And sometimes, you know, you get the right impetus. Sometimes it could be like, yo, I got this goal and I'm hitting this goal. And then while you doing it, like, yo, the shit that I accumulated along the way to this goal, this shit hits so different, and I'm not the person I was before. Like, it's fire. Yeah. Man, I'm excited to hear the album you're gonna put out with Bamada. I'm excited to hear your album too. It's like I need these surge bars.
I'm working on a couple things, man. Like I feel like I'm finally getting my shit together in that regard, and like planning out the year in terms of what the releases are gonna be. So Bamada's project definitely coming. And I'm putting together a little beat / remix tape type thing. I'm working out the kinks, but I got stuff coming for sure. But I wanna go back to because you mentioned the Temptations and Felix Hernandez and stuff like growing up.
Yeah.
Cause you have anyone in this community, like of just like where we listen to so many different types of music. You know, there's our initial introductions as to music as humans is like what is like played around the house, which is like why I even asked the question in the first place. Is I think it's just interesting, like the walks of life, like people come from, how it informs us, how it informs our taste, and then like how we end up like my bad, but how we end up like intersecting, you know, and eventually like end up being in this, you know, melting pot of a community where, you know, we actually end up having like a lot of similar tastes. And I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's just curiosity, but it's also like I wasn't always open to house music. I found a love for house music when I started diving into my roots of soca and like studying it more, studying the production.
Yo,
learning what
so different, yo.
Learning what 4 on the floor is, and understanding like, oh, that's a part of soca.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's also in like Afro beats and just so many genres outside of house, and then that's what also connects us to house. And then there's like so many variations and blends in between all those worlds as well at the same time that we discover. So like what were some other like artists that were played, and like when did you start to, what was the switch for you, I guess, that like when you started to branch out into like learning more about like other genres outside of like your immediate like environment?
I mean, okay, so that's an interesting question. I don't. All right, let's break it down. Let's break that down. When was the switch flipped? When was I like, all right, I'm gonna like find and discover music? It gotta be about high school, maybe middle school. So I went to the same school from 7th grade to 12th grade. So I was already, oh, wait, is the answer my cousin? I think the answer might be my cousin. So like grew up listening to what my parents played. Easy.
What was the first song you remember being outside of like, well, like, oh, my parents wouldn't want me to listen to this, or I don't know if that was even a thing for you, but
so like listening to the radio heavy was my shit. So I'm listening to Hot 97, and so that's just a very cursory like idea of what hip hop is and can be. For a second, my cousin Bones is like one of my, he's like my rib. Like I love that motherfucker to death. So he put me on to like music too. Like he was always buying tapes, and like specifically DMX, Chronic 2001, 3-6 Mafia, like was playing that heavy in the house.
3-6 is that's a whole different world, bro.
He has always been eclectic when it came to rap, and also listening to other ish. Now the first CD he bought me was Outkast Aquemini, because I think I was like listening to Outkast a lot just because the video was being played a lot, and I was like, oh, I like that. Because if you're listening to rap and you're not living that life, I was just like, and at the time I'm believing.
What was on Aquemini? Because I forget like what was on which album.
That's Rosa Parks, and then that's
okay.
That's Skewed on a Barbie with the 2 big singles, but also Liberation is on that. Spodio, damn.
Okay.
Like damn, James. Like, that's on it.
I don't think I know Aquemini that well.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I know like Southern Playlistic.
Cadillac Music.
Yeah.
That's their first joint.
Yeah.
So the Southern Playlistic, Cadillac Music, AT Aliens, Aquemini.
I know AT Aliens.
Stankonia
was fire. And Speakerbox Love Below.
Yeah, Speakerbox Love Below, and then Idlewild is in there too.
That was a movie. That was like a soundtrack though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but like the soundtrack for it isn't the music you get in the movie. Like the music in the movie, I wish they would have put that out. Like if they put out an Idlewild vinyl that was the theatrical versions and the album versions, that'd be phenomenal. Macy Gray's version in the movie be kicking ass, and the one on the soundtrack is alright. The one from the movie, fucking phenomenal. Also, maybe it was just watching Macy Gray like throw bottles at people, just adds to the experience. But yeah, so there are a couple different flips being switched. I vividly remember hearing hearing Reflection Eternal in my high school cafeteria at St. Benedict's Prep.
Okay.
And that was like, I was like, what is this? Who is this rapping? This is it for me. And Talib Kweli is one of my favorite rappers of all time, because the motherfucker rap like a transformer in my head. And is infamously like, tries to put too many words in a line and does not rap like on beat, but like kind of off beat, apparently. Something I didn't realize until I started DJing, and then like my DJ instructors were like, yeah, you want to make blends, like, or you want to take acapellas? It's like, just be careful of like Talib Kweli acapellas because it's very hard to put them shits on beat. I'm like, what? And I started listening back to like how he raps. And I was like, oh, that motherfucker raps like almost around the beat sometimes. But anyway, so that was definitely a switch.
What's like a Reflection Eternal song we could like get into real quick that stands out?
So The Blast was the single. There's a song on there with Rod Digger and Exhibit. Play that. Because that's an album cut that is...
Oh, Cool G Rap is on this album.
Yeah.
Queen's Legend.
Yeah. I meant Cool G
Down
Rap.
for the Count is what you're talking about.
Yeah, play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Lennox Lewis.
And one of the
Undisputed
funniest things about this,
heavyweight
like a
champion
lot
of the
of tracks on here
Yeah.
have these intros. They're like, hi, and blah, blah, blah. But some of them are just Dave Chappelle.
Really?
Like, it's like, this is Nelson doing a very shitty Nelson Mandela accent, and it's Dave Chappelle. It's like, when I'm in Africa chilling out, I listen to DJ. But then they got actual Roy Ayers. So I'm like, it's hilarious.
I met Roy Ayers once.
Oh, how was that?
Isn't that crazy?
Was it pleasant?
It was.
Did he smell good?
I didn't smell him.
No, it's okay.
I didn't get to like hug him or anything
No.
either. Like it wasn't. Yeah.
No, not that. It's just like Roy Ayers looks like, he feels like the type of dude that like is like, I'm buying this cologne and it's going to smell immaculate. Like Dave One, if you ever, are you familiar with Chromeo?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I definitely have heard their
So,
music in some fashion.
Yeah, Chromeo's two people, Pete Thug and Dave One. Dave
Okay.
One is A-Track's brother. Intern at Fool's Gold, so Dave One would be around a lot. That is a man that makes sure that he smells phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, he must have a budget. If he sits down and does a yearly budget,
Yeah.
cologne gotta be in there, bro.
Yeah.
But separate from clothing and accoutrement, just gotta be cologne. The motherfucker smells nice. Same thing with Telly from Ninja Sonic. If you are at all familiar with Telly makes sure I'ma smell good when I walk in this motherfucker. All right, sorry. Back to Kweli, DJ Hi-Tek.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's like a good or a bad thing that he did Pimp My Ride like after his music career. I mean it's a good thing for him because he collected a check, I'm sure, and like he's probably set for life because of that show. But I would at least hope so. But his rapping, bro, like there's people out there who know Exhibit for Pimp My Ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people where that's the case, and Exhibit really is like,
and that's
so fire.
And that's fine. So one thing, I almost guarantee he might still be cashing Pimp My Ride checks, but I guarantee that it wasn't like, I don't know if that was like life-changing money for him because there are a couple things. One, the show only really ran for I think 3 or 4 seasons. So like that first season is probably getting paid next to nothing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if he was ever an EP or anything like that. So it takes a couple years before you start getting like the good checks, especially on a show like that.
Yeah.
And also keep in mind that they had to change garages at one point. They was fucking people cars up too bad. Like dead ass.
Yeah.
So like there's that, but also like he was acting for a little bit. Like he was doing a personality thing. The other thing is he was still putting out albums while that was out. Like I distinctly bought, I think Man vs. Machine came out while that show was on, and I bought that album. And I think there was a hilarious song on there called he has a song called Choke Me, Slap Me. And of course it's Choke Me, Slap Me, Pull My Hair. And he's rapping in a pimp voice the entire time, doing his best like Sugar Free impression. I'm sure he knows Sugar Free and they're cool, but it is ridiculous. like I played that song once and I was like, I'm so happy I fit this into a set because it is stupid. But the other thing to remember about Exhibit is like he probably has multiple platinum plaques on his wall. He's on various Dre albums, Eminem albums, 50 Cent albums. He's all up and down those Aftermath albums when it was like at its peak. And the thing about West Coast rappers, they just never stop rapping.
But he probably owns none of those masters.
He might not own them. You're right. He might not own the masters, but he's still. I guarantee he's
hope he
getting
does.
residual. And I bet you his writing credits on Dre shit and just West Coast shit in general is stupid.
Yeah.
Because hearing him rap, you can tell like, oh, you're writing for other people, and I'm sure then the pen is deadly.
But one thing I wanted to get to, because you mentioned Hi-Tek.
Yeah.
Like anytime I hear the name Hi-Tek, I have to like go to this song, and also Talib Kweli's on this song as well, along with Jada. But like, I think in my top 10 best beats of all time, I might put Where It Started at.
Oh, New York,
bro.
Just
Let's do it. Let's bring that in.
All I just need Jada's verse. Oh yeah, he starts it off, right? Yeah.
Such a definitive like if aliens came to Earth and they wanted to know what hip hop was, like that's a great song to play for them. It may not be the only. There's a lot of other greats that you could play, but like if someone plays that song for them, I'm not mad. I'd be like, good choice.
Yeah. Like that's a choice, but it's also a good choice. Like Jadakiss, so now I told you, like the switch flipped. I was in high school. I was listening to Talib. It was like Talib Kweli, Mos Def, Common, and The Roots. And now I was like, that's my shit. I'm one of those. I was like,
so that's basically what was that
Soul
group?
Aquarians?
The Soul Aquarians.
Yeah, Soul Aquarians.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but it was like the holy trinity of underground rap at one point was just Mos Def, the Talib, and fucking Common. And then the heads was just like, I'm listening to The Roots. Now cats that were really in the underground are just like, oh, we way past that, buddy. But like motherfuckers is like I'm just happy when MTV plays The Light, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're just like, oh, this is the shit I'm listening to. And then I kept hearing Jadakiss rap, and I was like, man, I don't sell drugs, but goddamn, Jadakiss is so good at rapping. Yeah. And that really made me be like, yeah, motherfucker, you can listen to this. Yeah. You don't got to do it. Like, and that was the whole shit I used to tell people.
I had Papoose is on this song too, and I had like a really deep Papoose era. Like there was a point in college, and I realized in hindsight, I love Papoose, so I'm not like throwing any shade whatsoever. I listened to like his entire, he had like 19 mixtapes at the time, and I listened to, I was like, I'm gonna go through every Papoose mixtape, and from like, I literally listened to every song in his discography at the time. Like it was crazy.
That is a lot of Papoose, man.
I was literally arguing with someone on campus in college, like that Papoose was better than Kanye West, and they don't even belong in the same sentence. It's like, I mean, again, I don't want to like shade. Like, it's just like apples and oranges. Yeah. It's like
in so many different ways.
Yeah.
But like, one of the worst takes I ever had, I was like, Pap was bad for Remy's career.
Ooh.
I said that shit in front of people that mattered.
I don't know about that.
And that was no. That was one of the dumbest things I had ever said in life.
Yeah.
And I said some real dumb things. Yeah. So like, I feel so bad. Because like, I was like, oh man, they really needed each other. And it's really good. Also, Papoose is good at rapping. Like,
yeah.
Like, relax. Like, I don't know. I was just hating, and I was like,
And when do we ever get to see that? Like a really good rapper, like the two really good rappers married. Yeah. That's beautiful.
It was fun while it lasted.
What do you mean?
I think they broke up recently.
Don't say that.
Someone mentioned it in a rap battle that Remy Ma was at.
What? Nah.
Yeah. Oh no, did I just tell you that there's no Christmas is
right?
Christmas actually isn't Jesus' birthday.
Wow, like in December. Wow, this is really recent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go on TMZ right now.
No.
Like, but
are you old
enough? I don't know how true this is yet.
Okay. I'm just saying. Do you remember when the epitome of hip hop love was Russell and Kamora? Yeah. All of our greats fail us.
Jay and Beyonce still going strong.
Yeah, even Beyonce made that nigga apologize for 2 albums. I just want to point that out. The Carters exist as like, I'm sure, an apology. Like 444. First off, 444 might be like, depending on what age you are and where you are in life, 444 might be your favorite Jay-Z album. Because there's a mind state that some people have. There's like, if you look at it as a term like being in touch with fatherhood, understanding like I am wrong and like being vulnerable, you might be like, yo, you hit the right place, or you going through a divorce, you listen to 444, you're like, shit, you was right, you right. And like talking about property management, shit like that. All right. But anyway, 444 and goddamn the Carters was an apology tour that he still is not back from.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Yo, that nigga was so sorry he grew dreads. It's like he found spirituality. Just want to point that out, yo.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard for anybody to have a public relationship, man.
Yeah. But
at the end of the day, but yeah,
that shit. Yo, all of our greats, man. Like we not even, the whole Diddy thing. Fucking Uncle Murder dedicated a whole song to just talking about Diddy. You got to do some wild shit for Uncle Murder to be in the moral high ground of an argument or a beef, bro. Like,
yeah.
God damn, man. Fucking just a bunch of shit with it's. Oh no, we not even gonna get into that.
Speaking of public spectacles, did you see the Kanye Super Bowl ad?
Yes, but I don't remember it.
I mean, that makes sense, but it's literally just like him on.
Oh yeah. No, I did not see that shit. I heard about that shit. It's him like talking into a phone, right?
Yeah.
Which is, it could be G, but it's Kanye. Kanye does so much shit.
It's so genius. It's so genius. I mean, and it's worked. Like I think they paid $7 million. I saw something that said this. They paid $7 million for the ad, and they already made like $19 million off of the sales.
I mean, yo, shout to him. I mean, Kanye. I haven't listened to the Ty Dolla $ign album yet.
I'm gonna tilt this your way real quick so you can watch this and skip this ad.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's bring it back to the top.
Hey y'all, this Ye, and it's my commercial. And since we spent all the money on the commercial spot, we actually didn't spend any money on the actual commercial. But the idea is, I want you to go to Yeezy.com, YEEZY.com.
Didn't even redo
and
the
I'm gonna write it at the bottom of the screen.
What's wrong
and I
with
got
you?
some shoes, and that's it.
Okay, that's fucking genius. That is fucking genius. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I get it. But I hate it so much. It's the level of no effort, but it perfectly fits who he is as a persona right now. And I still, man,
It's like it's almost like he's making fun of himself in like this meta way. It's like I can't. It's so hard to explain. It's just so trippy. It's just he knows. I'm sure he's aware that like it's going to upset people and make people uncomfortable, and that's now like what his brand kind of is. And he's just like,
do we know? Does he know what his brand is right now? I don't know.
he's got to.
He's either a mad genius or he is mad. And either way, we are watching. Like this happens before. This happened in the media before, and it's just like, yo, I don't know if I want to be a participant on this ride anymore.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And I'm still not like fucking playing. I still haven't started playing Kanye out.
Wow,
Like
that's hard. That's really hard.
it's not. Yeah, now I'll tell you why it's not hard, because I've been doing it for at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I
So
guess.
like, you know what's harder?
Yeah.
Not
What?
playing Chris Brown.
Really? Harder than
Yes.
Kanye?
Yes. Well, how about this? Depends on where you're DJing and what you're doing. But if you're doing open format, top 40 shit, Chris Brown is on so much shit. Like so much shit. Like now I'm back. So the people. I mean, this is
There needs to
public.
be some sort of statute of limitations too for certain things. I feel like
Yo,
you got to give people a
this
chance
is-
to grow and like change and you know, if you've had good behavior for a certain amount of time, like we need to forgive it a certain point. I'm a big advocate of that.
Everyone has their own rules.
Yeah.
And the rule is the rule for everyone is, can I play this and not fuck up the vibe? Now, that changes.
Bro, people still play R. Kelly out, bro. Like I stopped dancing, but people still dance around me. No, like
Step in the Name of Love is a fucking classic. I don't play R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't play R. Kelly. I haven't played R. Kelly. The last time I played R. Kelly out was at Turnmill, which was early 2010s. And it was because motherfuckers kept requesting Fiesta remix. And not just like motherfuckers, like specifically white women kept requesting, can you play Fiesta? And I'm like, no, I do not play R. Kelly. And it's all personal preference.
Yeah.
I am lucky enough that I DJ places that I don't really need to play a bunch of shit. You know who I don't ever have to play again? Tory Lanez. That is a personal choice. You know who I don't have to play ever again? The Baby. Just don't have to do it. I don't got to play The Baby. And he has yet to make a song that's so big that someone's going to yell at me for not playing it. And that's fine. And that's a personal choice. Like, I fully understand it. I'm just like, yo, I'm not going to play certain things just because, one, I don't want to hear it. And I don't have to. Like, I'm not in a space. I'm not a big enough DJ, or like, I'm never going to be somewhere where fucking The Baby runs up on me and is like, yo, play my shit. And I'm going to be like, and I have to make that like life or not. Well, with The Baby, it might be life or death. but like, and I have to make that decision. But like, I mean, there's a bunch of other shit I choose not to play just because like I don't like it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know the whether or not I'm taking like a moral stand on certain people. That's mostly just like R. Kelly. The moral stands are like R. Kelly and Kanye.
Well, all right. So for me, how I operate is like there's a difference. There's definitely a clear difference between R. Kelly and Kanye. No, like there's a difference between saying things that are ignorant and being like an actual monster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And yo, I felt weird. I was like, damn, I want to play Benjamin's. Like, I don't think I can play Benjamin's for a while. And there's only one verse on there.
Yeah.
I gotta deprive the world of Lil Kim's verse and fucking Biggie's the beat flip. Like, it took y'all niggas till Travis Scott to be comfortable with changing beats in the middle of songs again. And we had that shit in the 90s. Hate it. But nah. And even saying moral stands is one thing. Just like, yo, I'm not gonna play R. Kelly. I don't have to. Fuck it. Like, The Baby personally to me just hasn't made a bop since Bop. Fucking since Bop. What the fuck is that? Who's Shook? Since Shook. Fucking I don't necessarily gotta play Chris Brown. And also, like, Chris Brown's been making the same song over for the past 10 years. That's just facts. And he knows it too. Like, he hasn't challenged himself to make music in such a long time. Like, since like Look At Me Now. That was the first time he kind of like strayed from the path. Not first time, but like it's been since then. I don't ever gotta play.
He did drop that like 50 song project after that is challenging yourself though. Like, wasn't it like 50 songs?
It was.
Right? Yeah.
You know why he did that.
Marketing?
No. The
what?
algorithm. So what the fuck is it? All right. You've noticed that commercial albums have been getting longer, right?
No.
So commercial albums, not like.
Oh, you mean in terms of like how many tracks are on? Yeah.
Those have been getting longer.
Drake
and then songs have been getting shorter. Now the reason for that is, so you get you get paid per spin. However, a lot of motherfuckers when it comes to albums, they might get that shit once over. And that's it. So you make the album long as shit. So you're getting a bunch of spins. You're getting that one spin on everything.
Yeah.
But if you're getting that one spin on 30 tracks as opposed to 6 tracks, that's 30 spins. And your singles are gonna do what your singles do, and your shit that get playlists is gonna do what that does.
I hate that as an artist. I think I'm always about like less is more, and like I'd rather listen to an album that's an experience from like track 1 to if it's 8 songs, that's fine. Just let it be an experience where I could just hit play and want to like experience it as this whole thing. It's like a full. It's like having a full meal that like after you just feel so satisfied, and versus like needing to skip through a bunch of bullshit tracks to get to your favorites.
Like, listen, I am a giant fan of the sub 40-minute rap album. I fucking love it. Anytime cats do that, it's like, oh, this is getting a bunch of spins. Like, when I see something that's over an hour, I'm like, all right, how much do I care about you that I'm going to give you this much of my time? But fucking the only album that I was like, the only rap albums recently that have done that for, fucking JID's last album, and fucking Call Me If You Get Lost.
I would say Astroworld.
Yeah, well, that's older, right? That's not his newer.
It's not his last album, but it's within that. It's recent.
And no, like older albums.
Yeah.
Fine, like.
But it's within the past 5 years, I think.
Fucking, I need to listen to the new Travis Scott. Everyone's like, oh, it's really good. And I'm like,
it is. I think Astroworld was better though. But Astroworld to me is like his masterpiece. Yeah. You know, it's hard to follow up after that. Utopia is great, but Astroworld is just like something I could go back to, and when
Rodeo came out, we were bumping Rodeo, man.
Rodeo, Days Before Rodeo, actually, like more than Rodeo, because I had Mamacita, Backyard. Backyard is one of my favorite.
Wait,
Travis.
Mamacita's on Days Before Rodeo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a moment.
It might be on both.
Oh yeah, because Days Before is like the mixtape before.
Let me look it up.
Isn't Antidote on both?
Let me see.
Man, people listening? Was y'all outside when Antidote first came out? Like
Mamacita is not on Rodeo.
Okay. Antidote. There are few things I've seen get a reaction out of people than me seeing Antidote being at a party. And Mo Bamba. The first time I ever heard Mo Bamba, I was at a party being thrown by fucking Dick by Air, and this motherfucker was crowd surfing at that party. The roof was only like 7 feet high, bro, and you're a tall man. So like, how the hell did you get on top of people when the roof was that low, bro? Like, crowd surfing. Mo Bamba had the city in a chokehold. Yeah. And then my man just be on tracks, just annoying me.
Yeah, Quintana was on it. Don't Play, Skyfall,
was that Days Before?
Backyard, Days Before. Yeah, that just those alone, like,
Travis
got slept on.
Travis got it. Travis, man, I don't know if he's going to be remembered the way he should be. Travis was ushered in a lot of good music and sound and changed the soundscape. Also, man, like, you can't tell me that a lot of Kanye's new sound is just not Travis. Like, Kanye sounded completely different pre and post Travis. Easily.
Yeah. But a lot of that is Mike Dean. Mike Dean is the commonality between those two because he works on both their projects too. Yeah. But Travis kind of came out with that sound. I would be really interested to know what that was like, because like randomly T.I. is the one who discovered Travis.
Okay.
He like connected Travis with someone out in LA, I think.
Was it fucking
I think it was like an industry exec out in LA or something. And that's how
I was thinking oh man, my man from Off-White, R.I.P. Virgil. Oh. He didn't connect Virgil. The first time I ever saw Travis Scott, he was coming out doing Virgil's DJ sets for, what the fuck was that called? Virgil was DJing as a part of a crew for a minute. Not a crew, but like him on stage was a thing. And then I remember seeing Travis just always like coming out and rapping on his sets. But then again, I wasn't in the know.
Yeah. Travis Scott was signed to Grand Hustle in 2013.
That's a funny game. Is like who were people first signed to?
Yeah.
Because like you can also do that with fucking 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz was signed to
Ironically, 2 Chainz is also on the song with T.I., the first Upper Echelon.
Yeah.
I remember when Upper Echelon came out, and I was like, "What is this? It's a whole different sound." T.I. was on that song, 2 Chainz was on that song, and it was on Grand Hustle.
Fucking 2 Chainz was signed as Titty Boy to Ludacris.
To Luda.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was signed to Luda.
I would assume like a Lil Wayne situation because they had that the Duffel Bag Boys.
Nah. So what that was them trying to get on because it was a dude from Grand Hustle and a dude from Disturbing the Peace coming together to form a group.
Yeah.
And they put out that song and that shit was fire.
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas was signed to Death Row. Which blew my
What?
mind when I found out. It took you a second. You were like,
No,
like,
honestly, I'm be honest. I do have to. We're getting to the end here, so I'm trying to like figure out how to wrap up at the same time. But also, that's crazy. But I think that's a good. I think that's a good note to end on.
Do your Googles.
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas was signed to Death Row Records.
Yeah. So, on that note, thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes to this new thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, especially out the gate, you know, like for something that's just starting to be on, like on the second guest for anyone who's like really rocking with me right now, like through this, like it really means a lot.
Yeah. And when it blows up and you're like fucking Zane Lowe, I gotta come back then.
Yeah.
When I,
No.
I need the clout,
You'll be back. You'll be back for sure. Yo, thank you, bro.
Yeah, ain't no thing.
Thank you. All right.